He'd hit it well enough, then suddenly the fielder was interested. Reasonably tall, got fingertips to it.
Nehal Katak on the fielder at mid-off. I thought he misjudged it. He didn't quite see it going that high. One of those split-second decisions, isn't it? Dhaval Kulkarni, shot pulled away. There is a fielder, but he's too fine. This will slowly go across that boundary line. A couple of bounces. And that whole Tasha, the lazim hole, is busy in this heat. Perhaps a sign of the fact that the Panthers have found their rhythm.
They certainly have. Not sure that was really what he intended at his pace. It's just they're asking to be hit. Nothing much on the surface for the bowlers. It's hard enough, the heat for them. What's he going to do? How will he compensate here? That was exactly what it was, compensation. Fuller, wider. I thought that the skipper was going to go after that one as well. Vikrant Auti.
Well, who does Dhaval Kulkarni go to after this over? Does he persist with Mulani? Because we've seen left-arm spinners find some success on this track, this pitch one. Shot much slower this time, happy to dab it through to the third-man region.
Still not completely convinced about their running between the wickets. Even the routine singles, couple of twos, just haven't got the understanding going. Can happen with a new opening combination. These two look like they really don't know each other, haven't spent much time with each other in the dressing room.
Well, as far as Kulkarni's lineup is concerned, they've got a blockbuster name, not Arjun. They've got Salman Khan and a Sylvester as well. Well, it's a day where we are seeing and also hearing stars in action. Gautam's joined the crew today. No slip for Dhaval Kulkarni. Should be called wide. Struggling to find his rhythm, the champion. One of the big names in Mumbai cricket, Dhaval Kulkarni.
He didn't really show much disappointment at having lost the toss, but you could see his first reaction was likely to be a bit of bowling to do in the afternoon sun. And that's exactly what's happening. Quite not perfect understanding. They still raced away to 35 without loss in the fourth over, inside the power play. This time, positive calling. They've obviously had a chat between overs. That's been Vikrant Auti, his 50 he got against the Namo Bandra Blasters. That's his highest score in the tournament so far. Certainly showed exactly why he's been in the kind of form he has, handed the captaincy today.
Also very unfussy. 4 gone, 37 without loss. Right, so what are Dhaval Kulkarni's options, especially when the opposition has gotten off to a brisk start, 37 of 4. All his bowling options, including himself, have been expensive. And who does he turn to?
Well, one of your two big stars. If it was not Bollywood, it's Hollywood. Sylvester D'Souza. had one over from Arjun Tendulkar from this end. We've had one over from Shams Mulani. Just the one wicket in the tournament so far. 1 for 23. Seen enough that he's given him responsibility inside the power play.
Makes room. Goes inside out. Will be effective. That goes all the way.
The umpire just waiting, but one of the fielders at a point signalling a 6. And if the fielding side is willing to concede those extra 2 runs, I'm sure the opposition won't complain. But they're still having a look. That's well over. A wonderful shot, and not a great welcome to the crease for Sylvester D'Souza.
Well, the only game he played so far, he hurried the batsman a little bit with his pace. Not afraid to dig it in a little bit, but in these conditions, this heat, no help whatsoever from the pitch. We'll see what his approach is. But good start to the over. And the run scoring continues. They're cruising along at 10.15, missing that man for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's missing being out there. He's one of those characters wouldn't like sitting in a dugout. Always want a bat in his hand and not an ice pack.
I wonder if it's some kind of stretch, or was it the ball that hit him? I'm not too sure what the injury is, but he'll be happy that despite his absence, his team has gotten off to a flyer.
Tendulkar joins the party. It's gone all the way. That's the second maximum of this over. And Sylvester D'Souza is not having a very happy afternoon. But that one was short, asking to be hit. Unlike Vikrant Auti, it was not premeditated. Didn't make any room, just waited and connected beautifully.
Yep. Looks so simple. Picked up that length so quickly. Not too short, mind you, but just enough for the batsman to just swivel, just pivot, and bang it goes. Disappointment writ large on Sylvester's face.
First delivery pitched up. Auti makes room, hits it over extra cover for 6. This one slightly short in length. It's been pulled away for 6. Well, Kulkarni's just had a word with his quick bowler. Not sure they can do much about the field if it's being hit over the boundary. There's another chance if this was a direct hit. Again, tentative. Their stroke play has been very positive. Their running continues to be tentative. Have a look at the communication again. Just looked over there. Was the non-striker's call. So he took responsibility and went for it. He would have been home anyway.
So possibly a change of end. Next over, Shams Mulani might be brought in from the Garware Pavilion end. We'll see what Dhaval Kulkarni thinks, because right now he's running out of options.
And looking like being in the middle of a tennis match that's not going your way. First 2 sets done, 6-1, 6-1.
Well, not as cool as Wimbledon, is it? Blazing hot. Once again, pull shot, but there is some cover this time. Pull just too short, Sylvester. Different conditions the last time he took the field. Just got to think about how the track's behaving, how the batsmen are moving. None of that's happening at this point.
Yes, we've seen Aakash at Gomil is the #1 pick in Dream 11. And it shows the beauty of being an all-rounder here. If you can add 2 aspects to your game where you can score points, that's the reason why Vikrant Auti also, 90%. That's probably because of his form. Change of pace from Sylvester D'Souza. The end of 5, it's 53 without loss.
25 apiece for the openers. No damage yet. Couldn't have asked for a better start, the new skipper. He's there himself, Vikrant Auti. He was pretty firm at the toss that he would like to bat first. It worked for him. Said we'd rather have runs on the board. So didn't quite want to have the pressure of the chase. And we have another change in bowling. Nihal Katakdhon comes in, who did very well for his team last time around. May not have finished up on the winning side, but he took 3 for not very much. And the gentleman sitting left to me, I'm sure, is impressed with Katakdhon's lefty orthodox ability. He's one of, what, 380 choices you have for lefty orthodoxes.
Yeah, the ball that got Siddesh Lad was a beauty, wasn't it? Oh, I beg your pardon, that was Karsh Kothari. But he had a stumping, I believe. I remember. So many players, difficult to remember. But he's got a nice high action. Straight away left arm spinner is being used. Oh. There he goes for that big slog sweep. That's what happened to Prithvi. He went for that slog sweep yesterday.
Exactly. Almost a similar shot.
Similar shot, yeah.
And Prithvi also had to stretch. I think he hurt his right groin. Very similar here. I think he too got clipped in approximately the same area. So Dhagankar is not feeling the ill effects of that. Still there. Watch it. This is a clever bowler. Properly respectful, and yet the single was slightly doubtful. Vikrant Auti is running much better. I think Dhagankar is the one who's a little tentative. And of course, we'll have to be kind because he hasn't played too much, particularly not in the company of Vikrant.
That's probably the first single that they run quickly, understanding each other. But yeah, you're right when you say that players haven't played with each other too often, as a result of which it becomes difficult for the running between. Normally, you just look at your partner and the glaze says that yes, come, let's go. But this is difficult because the adjustments haven't yet come.
You can do a lot of work in the nets. Running between the wickets is a different art.
Only one.
Auti, very adventurous. Danced down and then adjusted very well. We have seen that. I was asking Dhawal Kulkarni just before the toss, we had a little chat, saying, listen, is it the heat? Or what is preventing a lot of the batsmen from taking twos, which are possible, especially in the outfield, when the outfield runner is running well to his left or right? And he tended to agree. He said, no, we just have not been adventurous enough. Our running between the wickets is still work in progress, of course. The entire game is, but that's one area where they're certainly found wanting. So it's not the heat, as I was suggesting earlier. Goes big and connects well.
There's the same shot that he played twice. It's connected beautifully against the break. Dhagankar. He's done well as an opening batsman, a replacement. Just look at that shot that he played. Beautifully timed, second time, deep into the stands. Tossed up delivery. Had no problem whatsoever. There was no turn in that ball. The result of which he timed it so well.
Yeah, fuller this time by Katakdhon. But obviously, Dhagankar likes that slog sweep. Succeeded with against Shams Malani. Missed the first time he tried against Nehal, but second time caught it really well. Very strong young man. Dhagankar, not very tall, but he packs a punch. Vikrant Auti must be enjoying playing the company of Dhagankar, who is not getting bogged down for sure. So that just allows Vikrant to also play a little more freely without pressure. See the merit of the ball played accordingly. Decides to go big, and the ball was always moving away from Dhawal Kulkarni at mid-off. Another boundary, and this is proving to be, or has proved to be, a terrific over. Again, 13 from it. 66 for no loss after power play. Here's a look at the Atul Project's skyscraper scenario. Arjun Tendulkar bowling the first over, giving 13. But he wouldn't really mind. He'll be telling the skipper, everybody who's bowled from my end, the third and the fifth over as well, has gone for plenty. So skipper, not my fault. Must be something wrong with this end. This is all looking very, very good for North Mumbai Panthers. Last ball, last over. Vikrant Auti got himself a handsome boundary. Here's Katak Dhon. Auti jumps out. Might have wanted to keep that along the ground. Didn't catch it as well as he might have liked, but still, welcome boundary.
D'Souza has given 16 of his first, and Kulkarni has given him another spell. He was twice pulled just now in his first spell. And I'm a bit surprised, Charu, that he's got... Normally what happens with captains is that if you too many runs if you give, they don't allow them to bowl the second over. They just wait for them to do... Once again, nicely tucked away. 2 for it.
Yeah, they must.
Yes.
Tendulkar, tall man, bent down. Didn't pick up clean, so the 2 was always on. But yeah, this is the only thing I can think of why D'Souza has gotten himself a second over straight away, is the fact that the power play is over. So he's got a lot more cover on the boundary, 5 fielders outside. And I'm sure that will just free him up mentally a little more. Where do we have them? We've got a long on, we've got a deep mid-wicket and a deep fine on the 45 on the leg side. We have a third man on the boundary as well as a cover. Mid-off is up.
Stepped in much earlier than the ball was coming to him, as a result of which he mistimed it. Coming back to D'Souza's pace, the 2 boundaries that he hit earlier were too short, and his pace doesn't allow him to bowl the short ball.
Yeah, Vikrant Auti, of course, seemed a little predetermined, made room and went over cover for a 6, which was a magnificent shot. And then Dagaonkar. The ball was slightly short, but he saw that length very quickly and went through with that big slog.
Perhaps that's the quickest strike rate of opening batsmen in this competition. 157.9 is Vikrant Auti and 189.5 is Dagaonkar. It's a terrific start.
Oh, short again, and in the gap that could be another boundary. Yes, it is. Fine leg could not make it there in time, so D'Souza certainly erring in length and line on that occasion. Down leg to the lefty. Vikrant Auti picks himself up. An easy boundary.
He's batting superbly in this competition. Again, too short for his pace. Look at the length. Helped himself to the boundary. That's why I'm surprised, Charu, why after giving 16 of the first, he still brought him on, because the bowler also needs a bit of relief from that pressure of the first over.
Yeah, well, Dhawal Kulkarni, of course, may lack options at this point of time, but here's a partnership, 73 from just 42. Magnificent strike rate. And it looks like that call that Vikrant Auti made at the toss by opting to bat first, and we want runs on the board, is certainly working very well for his team, the Panthers. And need we remind you that they are without their biggest star and captain Prithvi Shaw today. Fuller and driven fabulously. That's what we'd like to see. Vikrant Auti is in terrific free-flowing form today. Captaincy suiting him.
When the left-hander makes that cover drive, it's the most pleasing shot in the world. He found the gap and really hit it hard. He's batting well, Vikrant Auti. He's accepted his role as an opening batsman. He did open for Mumbai in a few games last year, and he's batting really well, technically quite sound, playing pretty straight. Superb batting by Auti.
Of course, you saw the anguish on D'Souza's face after bowling that delivery. I have no doubt that the skipper had told him, listen, you're a little short. Can you pitch it up a little more, please? And of course, he overcompensated. Half volley outside off stump. Vikrant Auti was very happy to say thank you. Now, of course, Sylvester D'Souza changes, goes round, if it makes any difference to his angle. Yes, certainly a better delivery. Everything good about it.
They've already got 12 of this over, so there's no need to panic. One ball left. Perhaps 2 in this over, or a spanking drive of a half volley, but no need to take any risks.
Well, what's good to see is Dagaokar's aggression. because he hasn't seen too much match action, and you might expect such a player, let's look at the field again, to be a little more circumspect, give more of the strike to his skipper, saying, well, listen, I'll just play a supporting role. But instead of doing that, he has taken the bowling by the horns, and clearly more aggressive at 190, his strike rate. Got tricked by the slower pace of that delivery. They're still doing very well. 7 gone, 78 for no loss.
Live scores, news,
Team preview,
Match predictions.
fan code.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
Repair the damage. We now have Salman coming in for his first over. And a big thank you again to all our spectators here at the Wankhede. A little bit of off spin because of the lefty, Auti. But watch out for Dagankar, because if you pitch it up, he's going to make sure that the ball goes into the spectators long on mid-wicket.
Oh, he's done a great job. He's striking at 180. If the off-spinner bowls somewhere around the middle and off, I'm sure he's going to tonk it into the mid-wicket area, because that's the best lap shot you can play of an off-spinner.
And I wonder what's going on in Salman's mind, because he's seen the aggressive instincts of Dagankar, particularly in the cow corner area. Just a switch of personnel. You got third man and fine leg in, which is fine for a spinner. And we do have long on and deep mid-wicket. Also have a deep square. So, of course, 2 outfielders on the offside. Yeah, that's not very badly bowled at all. Well done. Just the perfect length. And I also think they're beginning to run a little better. With better understanding. Oh, the new scorer. How could I miss that? Fantastic car. Beautiful vehicle. Oh, spun away, and that might go all the way to the boundary. It's such a shame. The fielder thought he was right behind it. Could not handle that spin. Gomal will be quite embarrassed if he sees that on television later.
Vikrant Auti, terrific nick, saw the ball short. Oh, that should have been stopped for sure. 4 bonus runs for Vikrant Auti. Should have stopped it, there's no doubt about that. You've got to be very alert in that point position. That is the most important, one of the most important hander as well as to the left-hander. I wonder why, because there's no fielder in that square leg area.
Well, you make a good point, but is that okay? Is that okay by you?
It's not okay by me. Rules are rules. Umpires are the ones who follow rules.
Oh, very fine. Almost picked it off the keeper's gloves. Dagankar can be brutal. And, as he has just shown, there's plenty of finesse as well.
He saw it outside the off stump, but still coming in the ball, slowly though. Made room and beautiful square. Little dab. Wouldn't call it a late cut, but a little wishy kind of a cut.
Well, I must say he was fully in control, which is great to see. Nothing edgy about that. That was an intention. May have gone a shade finer than he might have wanted, but it was always going to be 4. Tried to go big as we thought, didn't quite connect. And that's what I was talking about. Should they have taken the 2 now and put the fielder under pressure? They settle for a single. 8 gone. They are racing along. 90 for no loss. Well, except for the skipper, Kulkarni, who's bowled 2 for 10, the rest have all been caught for plenty. That's just not the kind of bowling figures we're used to, especially Shams Mulani, Nehal Katakdhond. The lefty spinners have been very tight, very miserly throughout the tournament. So this is a bit of a surprise. I'm sure the bowling side is wondering what has changed here, because we were also talking about this West pitch being less full of runs than the other, but today it's been magnificent.
Maybe my pitch report reading was totally wrong, Charu.
No, don't say that. Don't be so immodest about it. The truth is that I think these two have batted with great determination and commitment, and we haven't really seen any balls that have held up. Up in the air, safe area. If you can get past that extra cover man, that is the skipper. I think there's too far to his left. Made no move. Terrific shot.
Right below his bat. Let's have a look at it. Tossed up delivery right below his bat. And that follow through was absolutely superb. Coming over his left shoulder. Look at it. Beautiful shot. Needs to be hit and stayed hit.
No, I actually love that shot, because you of course have a cover sweeper and long off. There is a gap there. Almost always the extra cover fielders well inside the circle. And it can be very productive. All you have to do is clear the infielder. Lagaonkar once again trying to play a delicate little late cut there. Couldn't quite find the timing.
Nowadays, Charu, I see all batsmen, their hands are so close to each other. That's why they can drive so beautifully. Oh, this one has gone up in the air. Will he take it? Will he take it? Yes, he's gone.
Well, he really popped it up. What a shame from Lagaonkar's viewpoint. Batting on 46, looking for a 50, maybe trying to get there with a 6. But he just popped it up, went high up in the air, and long on came racing in. May not have been all that easy. The ball would have been spinning and swirling. But eventually he had plenty of time to get underneath the toe of the bat. And very well taken, very comfortably, very smooth. Suryansh, well done. So now they have finally broken through. Vishal Lagaonkar goes 46, 94 for 1. The skipper for today, Vikrant Auti, is still there, a little shy of his 50, and he has just seen his opening partner, Lagaonkar, Sky want to long on for 46. So it was a nice contribution, and all of that meant that they have a fabulous start today, North Mumbai Panthers. Who walks in? Sairaj Patil. So I suspect there's going to be no relief for the fielding side. Look at his strike rate, the number of 6s. He's a big boy, strong man, currently of course at the non-strikers end.
Yeah, he's capable of a lot of things, but he's got to keep a cool mind when batting. He goes for the big ones. Settle down, Sairaj. You've got all the shots in the world.
And of course, also such a wonderful platform. And your team's 94 for 1 in the middle of the 9th over. You can afford to take it a little easy, not go crazy right from the start. And your skipper's playing so well. All right, here's the demise of Lagaonkar. had to reach out for it. A little slower than he might have anticipated. But look at Suryan Shedge getting underneath. He's only about 16 and a half or so. The youngest man in the field. Had plenty of time, lined it up well, and took it very confidently.
Yeah, he tossed it up. The spin beat him. The flight beat him. Let's see what Sairaj Patil is going to... how he's going to pace his innings.
We haven't seen that for a while. Nice happy forward defensive by a man who can be so destructive, Sairaj Patil. He was a big draw in the auction, understandably. There's Mr. Shedge.
Oh yes,
I wonder how many times he's been called Mr. Shedge in his very young life. So far, 9 gone, 95 for 1.
शाबाश 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 चलो चल चलो well bowled yaar well bowled chalo
Yeah, some turn for Salman. And keeper Vikrant suddenly guessing a little more careful, walks up and bats the pitch down. We think the pitch, of course, has behaved very well. And from this stage, Milind, if they don't get to 200, it'll be a travesty. Certainly set up very well.
It will be, surely. Now, with that spin in that, on that ball, I would think that Dhawal could try bringing a slip just to create a little bit of panic. The ball is spinning, and maybe Salman should try and bring the ball in or make the ball go straight. Hit his left pad.
There is a backward point, so that's okay. But maybe short third can come up into, as you say, a slip position and just make Vikrant Ahuti a little nervous about fielders around him.
And try and bowl as many balls to him as possible. Just block him. There he goes across the line.
Now on 47, Vikrant. 3 shy. And it will be a wonderful 50. Of course, he's got a 50 in the tournament earlier. Pretty quick one. This one too. 30 deliveries only. So striking at near 160. And who does he have for company? Sairaj Patil, whose tournament long strike rate was even higher, 170 or so. Big boy, big hitter, and of course a right-hander. So Salman Khan might just be wondering, am I going to go big? Am I going to go for many?
Again, he pulls one. Wasn't a ball to pull, but because he didn't play across, he was okay.
It was struck hard, so Dhawal Kulkarni will try and forgive himself for letting it go through his legs. Never know, an awkward bounce might get you in the face, so no wonder he turned his face away.
I must admit that Ahuti has batted beautifully through the tournament. Oh, what a beautiful shot. That's his 50. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Not just yet, but we do get to the halfway stage, and the North Mumbai Panthers have started magnificently. 98 for 1.
Live scores, news,
Team preview, match predictions.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
is the action from day 7 of the T20 Mumbai. And what a rollicking start for the North Mumbai Panthers, thanks to a new look opening pair, no Prithvi Shaw. And guess what? It's a funny game. They've done better without him. And if you look at this bowling lineup, Dhawal Kulkarni, the only bowler who's had some semblance of control today. Mulani, D'Souza, Nehal, Tendulkar just the one over. Salman Khan has come in and gone for 15 of 2 is 2. And so Monday afternoon blues for the Blues from the Aakash Tigers, representing the Mumbai western suburbs. Back in the commentary box, I'm Manish Batavan. I'm joined by another new voice, former Mumbai under-14 player. Has played a fair bit of cricket here at the Wankhede as well, Prasanna Sant.
Good afternoon, Manish, and what a wonderful setting this is. 10 overs, 98 for 1. What a wonderful start. That is a run rate of 9.8 runs per over. Vikrant Dowdy batting on 48. Getting ready to face Nehal Katadon. Nicely plays that with the spin towards mid-wicket. That's been the essence of Vikrant's innings today, Manish. The way he has paced his innings, really top-class batting from Vikrant Dowdy.
Also, well, on available evidence, he seems to enjoy captaincy as well. He looked nice and relaxed and confident at the toss, talking to Charu Sharma. And with the way he's gone about opening the innings, it looks like he's not thinking about the so-called added pressure or responsibility. But Dhawal Kulkarni has put a slip in place because there's a new batsman in. Bhagaukar missed out on a half-century, trying to go big, perhaps trying to cross that 50-run mark with a glamorous shot. Wasn't to be. He was very cross with himself while walking back.
Yes, but that was a good partnership. And this now single brings up the century for the North Mumbai Panthers. A good start, a good platform that they've built. And now Vikrant Dowdy, 32 balls that he's batting on 49. Looking for a well-deserved half-century if he gets to that. Nicely places that towards square leg, taking the first run hard, and that'll bring up the half-century for Vikrant Dowdy. Well played, Vikrant. 33 balls, 50 runs. Top-class batting from Vikrant Dowdy.
Yes, terrific stuff. Looked in control through and through. Should be proud of himself. Now as captain, second half-century at the T20 Mumbai for him. This one with 6 boundaries and a 6. Never really looked in trouble in this innings.
Never really looked in trouble, and all controlled shots that he's played with the spin, the way he's paced his innings, that is what you were saying, and good batting. Now he must carry on. That is what is important. Nicely played. Sairaj also has looked good in the first 3-4 balls that he has faced. This also off the back foot, nicely punching that towards long off. Prithvi Shaw there, as you can see on his screen, so missing the game today because of an injury. As you can see, there he's still applying that ice there to his right leg. Hope that he recovers fast for the North Mumbai Panthers and also for the Mumbai T20 League, Manish.
Stressed his right thigh a little bit, I think. We're still awaiting an official confirmation on what the issue is, but he'll be happy that even in his absence, this new look opening pair, Nagaonkar, terrific innings before that rash shot. Vikrant Dowdy playing on 50, scored a half-century against the Namo Bandra Blasters as well. They won that game by 27 runs. Prithvi Shaw was, of course, batting on another planet in that game. So the Panthers batting at a fairly healthy, rather dangerous run rate of 9.5 or thereabouts. End of the over, 103 for 1.
शाबाश शाबाश चलो चल चलो चल चलो शाबाश चलो सोच के जरा चलो शाबाश शाबाश
103 for 1. Vikrant Dowdy has just completed his half-century, batting on 51, 35 balls, getting ready to face. Gives himself some room, not quite getting the meat of the bat, but he'll get that single towards a shot third man. He's looked good, but this shot, looking for the big one, looking to accelerate. He's got set, but it's important that he carries the bat long, because still 9 overs to go. He's batting well. Sairaj Patil giving him good company. 3 in 5 balls that he's batting on. But the spinners, Manish, have put the brakes on the scoring. Salman, Nehal bowling really well in tandem.
Well, the Panthers now cruising along, looking very good for the first double 100 team score of this T20 Mumbai. Oh, improvisation, so close that was to the leg stump. We'll still get a couple of runs very easily. That could have been close.
Yeah, that definitely could have been close. So that's off the bat. So no signals and indication that's off the bat. The projected score currently tells us that 187 is a score that North Mumbai Panthers are likely to reach. Oh, it just got that inside edge, if you were to see. Went for that paddle sweep, didn't quite connect it well, but lucky there, going for that big shot.
Well bowled, Ray. Well bowled, Salman.
Goes to its third man, just a single.
बहुत अच्छे बेटा, बहुत अच्छे, बहुत अच्छे.
This time in the form of a leg bye.
Top effort, buddy. Top
Well, at
effort.
this stage, it looks like Vikrant Auti has decided to
अच्छा है,
hang in
अच्छा
there
है,
and
Salman.
Sairaj Patil go for his big shot. So, not a bad idea, because you want one set batsman in. If Vikrant gets out, things might change, as we've seen so often in this tournament. Things tend to slow down in the middle overs. This time, Auti's gone for a big one and has not hit that well enough. Just what we were talking about. They did not want 2 new batsmen in. Vikrant Auti caught by the youngster Suryansh. 52 off 37. Is this the kind of twist Dhaval Kulkarni's men wanted?
Yes, definitely they'll be happy with this twist. 2 back-to-back wickets and 2 set batsmen. The 2 openers are back in the pavilion. Suryansh Shetty taking his second catch. So he started the Monday really on a good note. 2 back-to-back catches. Vikrant Auti out on 107 for 1. Scoreboard reads.
Auti goes for 52, 107 for 1.
शाबाश शाबाश चलो यार चलो यार चलो यार आना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे यार आना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे
So then, 2 new batsmen in the crease. Karan Nande, he's had some form in this tournament. A half century in their first game, a 40 in their second.
good finish here Salo good
That
finish
50 came against the Eagle Thane strikers in their first game. They won by 6 runs.
very well bowled
But the 2 batsmen that took them past that 100-run mark are both back in the hut. Time to rebuild, resurrect the innings, start from scratch.
Yes, rebuilding, resurrection. That is where it was. Vikrant Auti was out on 52, going for that big hit, not quite able to clear the boundary. Off the back foot towards square leg, a single there to Sairaj Patil. He'll keep strike. 12 overs bowled, 109 for 2.
शाबाश 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 यार
Well, I have with me Prithvi Shaw. Let's talk about your injury and your recovery.
शाबाश शाबाश यार
It's better than the yesterday. My hip flexor is it's a bit sore and a bit stretched. So yesterday's match, I stretched when I was playing that sweep shot. That's the time it happened. So, but it's better than yesterday now. But still working on it.
Happy with the way your team is performing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good total, 110 for doing 12.1. So these guys are playing good, and we hope we get to a 200 total. Let's see.
Let's talk about Vikrant's performance in the tournament as well.
It's been outstanding. The partnership what he's doing with the opener batsman, maybe myself or maybe with Vishal. I think in 6 overs we are almost doing 50-60 runs in every game, and that's a good thing, good sign for us. So yeah, he's doing brilliant.
So what's the score? There's a lot of cheering, but what's the score that you would be hoping for?
Looking at the scoreboard right now, 180 for sure. Or I can say 220, 230, but obviously 180 for sure, like looking at the scoreboard.
Well, we're missing you in action, so I hope you feel better, and I hope I can see you playing soon. Thank you so much, Prithvi. Thank you. Thank you.
They said 180 for sure. Also, he subtly mentioned 220, 230. First question, he said 200. So possibilities are endless. Lovely shot a couple of deliveries ago, that inside-out shot.
What a shot that was. Wideish long off, inside out. Wonderful extension of the arms. It was a beautiful shot. And in this era of where you see those cheeky shots, it's so beautiful, so nice to see these classical drives. What a shot that was from Karan Nande. Sairaj Patil now on strike, getting ready to face Nehal. Again going for that expansive drive, beaten there, nicely collected. Good bowling this from Nehal Katakdhond, flighting the ball, left arm round the wicket, inducing the batsman to go into the drives. Good left arm spin bowling that we've seen all through the T20 Mumbai League. Manish.
Lots of spin there. That'll interest Prabir Thambe, who will be in action very soon. Second innings. It's been a feature, isn't it? These tracks, there's always some turn available. Now, if they've got to reach 180, they've got 7 overs after this. They've got to score at least 8, 9 and over to hit that 180 mark.
Yes, absolutely. They have to go about 8 to 9 runs and over, because the start was wonderful from Vishal and Vikrant, but both of them lost their wickets back to back, and that's what has stemmed the flow of the runs. And that's where you see 2 new batsmen. They're trying to set themselves in. Karan Nande batting on 6 and Sairaj Patil batting on 8. But the spinners have done a good job. Nehal Katakdhond getting ready to bowl the last ball of the 13th over. There's a shot fine leg, shot third man, backward point, and covers 4 fielders inside the 30-yard circle. Strives straight back to the bowler. Dot ball, 116 for 2.
So 180 at least for Prithvi Shaw. But do they have enough batting firepower left in that low middle order? Sairaj Patil could be the man, but one expects Karan Nande to be the one doing the big scoring.
Sairaj now on strike, getting ready to face Shams Mulani. Shams Mulani picked up that wicket. Left arm spinner. Bowls really well in these T20 tournaments that he plays at the local level. Bowls really well. The flatted trajectory, the armour that he bowls at a fair clip. Nicely bowled and driven towards sweeper cover. Single there to Sairaj Patil with the spin. Good batting.
Well bowled, Shamsi. Well bowled, Shamsi.
Also like to think Dhawal Kulkarni might think of giving Arjun Tendulkar a go, while the batsmen are new, and who knows, it might just work. Might help Arjun get his confidence back. Was expensive in that 1 over he bowled so far. He's got 3 left. Kulkarni himself has 2, so we'll see how he uses his bowlers.
Yes, absolutely. Arjun has bowled 1 over. Dhawal Kulkarni himself has 2 to go. Mulani is bowling his third over. Sylvester also has 2 more overs. Nehal has 1, Salman has 1. The spinners have done good job. Nehal and Salman especially. And now Shams Mulani doing the backing up. Getting ready to bowl to Sairaj. Nicely bowled. A good early call, made that single easily possible. Runs coming in singles, they need at least a couple of boundaries or a boundary here and there every over if they have to reach that score of 200 that they have in mind, which could be a good score on this pitch.
Ajinkya Patil, due to come in next, can hit a couple of big ones as well. Has a bit of a reputation in local cricket. Singles are always available, so but they will need the big ones. Very quickly run the first one here. They need the big ones to hit that 180 mark. 6 more overs after this. Take a look at that. Decent communication this time as well. Clarity of thought. There was no confusion or they weren't in two minds, no dilemma there.
Yes, and because it was right there at the edge of the 30-yard circle, it is always important that you take the first run hard.
There they are, the Atul Projects fan army. Even in this Mumbai heat, they've turned up. And I expect a much bigger crowd this evening. We will see the Shivaji Park Lions in action. They gave us a nail-biter of a finish last night. Shivam Dubey almost won the game. We'll have so much more to talk about, especially with Milind Rege in commentary very soon. The Shivaji Park Lions, runners-up last year. They've lost 2 in 2, so it's not looking good. The Triumph Knights as well did not start well, have 1 game in the bag. They'll want to keep their winning momentum going. Single 2 in the over, 14 gone, 123 for 2.
The scoreboard reads 1-2-3 for the loss of 2 wickets. Nehal Katakdon getting ready to bowl once again, going for that big shot across the line. The intent is there, but not quite able to connect that. Nehal Katakdon bowling his 4th over, so the last over of his allotted quota of overs. He's bowled well, given away just 25 runs. The projected score at this rate of 8.68 will go to 173.
There is protection on the onside, and so he goes inside out. That's gone all the way up. Biggie now. The Panthers have decided to change gears. 6th number 124 for the T20 Mumbai. Sairaj Patil has absolutely clobbered it with a lot of elegance.
As he said, changing gears, and he's changed that gear so smoothly. And we're talking about gears, the ball going towards the Skoda car. What a shot that was, beautifully hit. Extensions and the timing, the grace, the elegance, absolutely top class. There's one that Karan Nande played that went for a boundary. This time it is Sairaj Patil doing a little better, getting that for a big one. 129, the scoreboard moves on to the projected score, tells us that about 180 is what they'll reach at the current run rate of 9 per over that they are batting at. This time, change in line as well as the length by the trajectory of the back foot, playing that towards long on is Sairaj gets a single after a 6. Good batting this.
No wickets for Nehal Katakdon. Has been expensive. Had a decent game the last time. Will want to finish his spell with a couple of quiet deliveries, but 7 of the first 2 so far. Let's take a look at the field. There's a long on, deep mid wicket, a long leg. No super cover. Oh, goes down the track, not quite there.
Very well bowled.
Batsman did well at the last moment, just adjusted himself as well. Good bowling this from Nehal. He anticipated that the batsman may come down the wicket. Good cricket all round. Takes that single as well. Nicely bowled. Here you see that late last minute adjustment. The ball spun as well. Ball is spinning. Light delivery, nicely driven to its wideish long off. What a lovely sound the bat makes when it hits the middle of the bat. Court batting this with the spin, playing it towards covers, wideish long off. Court batting this from both the right-handed batsmen Sairaj Patil and Karan Nandi.
I'm going to draw my own left-arm spinners 11 at the end of this tournament. So many of them on offer. You could do a squad, a full squad of 15. End of the 15th, 133 for 2.
The Atul Project high-rise show. All of a sudden it dipped after that first wicket, and it's taken quite a bit of time for them to build it up again. But we're on to the 10th floor now. And, I suspect the last 5 overs might see some tall buildings once again, because they do certainly have the personnel. Sairaj Patil can hit the ball a long way. Big, strong boy. Currently only striking at 105, so that's a little poor for him. But we can understand the repair job that needed to be done after the first couple of wickets. And Karan Nandi a little better at 130. Both of them have faced only, well, Sairaj has been there for a while. Arjun Tendulkar. Low full toss and put away very easily by Karan. Didn't try and overhit that. Knew there was a gap. Found it.
It's amazing that full toss was played very square, as you can see, deep into his crease, and just helped himself to that boundary. Great shot. These players know exactly where the field is placed, and helped himself to that boundary. Arjun has to.
Yeah, sorry, Arjun gets a quick tip from Dhawal Kulkarni, who goes back to now wide mid-on. Needs to land it in better areas, Arjun. The slower one. Good to see a bit of variety.
Good to see Arjun bowling at this stage of the innings, because whatever we've seen earlier, he's bowled at the start of the innings. So he'll have to do a lot of it with the ball, you know, cutting it, bowling that slow off breaks. And moreover, it's important that he's bowling around the wicket.
And how well the spinners have brought it back for their team. Shams Mulani particularly bowled very tight. Again, a slow one, and again hit very well, used the wrist, knew there was a big gap there. This time Sairaj Patil, make sure he helps himself to a boundary. Now these guys are cancer survivors. Great to see them here at the Wankhede. Wonderful initiative by the MCA, Probability Sports, everybody involved with T20 Mumbai. And obviously they're having a great time, and we can understand why. Lots of boundaries, lots of runs scored, great atmosphere, and the atmosphere is only going to get better as we have more spectators later in the evening.
That's what T20 is all about. What is Arjun going to do now? He's already gone for runs. Oh, what a shot that is!
Could be taken, and it is! Just a yard inside the boundary. Arjun Tendulkar gets some reward for his hard work. Went for 12 or 13 in the opening over, a couple of boundaries before this as well.
Yeah,
substitute coming underneath it, sorry.
Slower delivery this time, well bowled Arjun. Got it at the toe end of the bat because it was a slow delivery, and because of the slowness of the pitch also.
Very well taken. It went very high, and remember, he was facing the sun, but he's got rid of the big boy. Sairaj Patil today disappointed a bit. 23 from only 20. 1-4-2 for 3. They've done very well to get rid of Sairaj Patil. Why he's a very destructive batsman towards the death. But in comes Sumit Dhekle. Not a very fancy strike rate, one must admit, but this is a big opportunity for him. And with 4 overs and a couple of balls to go, they could really, with 7 wickets in hand, they could chew a bit of caution. And again, that line, middle and leg. Arjun needs to keep it outside off for sure to the right-handers. He's given too many runs. Of course, he did get the wicket. And it was an important one, particularly at this stage, because Sairaj Patil can accelerate.
Yeah, beaten completely with that slower delivery. There was no reason to go for that big shot. He'd already got 2 boundaries. That's the problem with Sairaj Patil. He plays some super shots, and he's unable to hold himself. But well bowled Arjun, coming around the wicket, bowling a slower delivery to the right-hander.
Oh, of course, he switches to over the wicket for the left-hander here. Dhekle, the new man in, facing his first delivery. Edged! And that's an easy one for the keeper. So Arjun Tendulkar, in his second over, a little expensive, but picks up 2, I'm sure. He and the skipper won't mind at all. 16 gone, 1 4 3 for 4. So Dhekle, unfortunately, unable to do anything today. A golden duck. 1 4 3 for 4. What a terrific start. And then the North Mumbai Panthers seem to have lost their way. I can't see or figure out that the pitch would be not as good for batting as it was to begin with. So this has just been a poor show after a terrific start. You could argue that 143 is already pretty good, but they were looking at a score well in excess of 200. Full toss, but he'll be so disappointed. A yes and no again. Oh, come on, what's going on in here? Nehal, what were you doing? Very slack.
But that should have gone for a 4, really. A nice, juicy full toss. He could have hit it anywhere, but probably dipped onto him, as a result of which it hit the toe end of the bat. Oh, come on. Yes, no, yes, no. It's very difficult to come back again.
It's a bit of a comedy show there. But Nehal giving a needless single. But as you said, that should have gone for 4. So in a sense, they are 3 short, the batsman.
Oh yes, Shams. Well bowled,
It's good bowling. Kadam 66 runs. Not a great strike rate, really.
Very well bowled, Shams.
He needs to get going. But it's a good thing, Charu, that many of these youngsters are getting an opportunity to play this level of cricket.
Without question, of course, lots of pressure. Lights, not right now, maybe late in the evening, but here's a wicket again. Dhekle threw his bat at it, top-edged, simple to the keeper. And it could have been so rough had that been a bigger top edge, might have gone over the wicket keeper. But Arjun Tendulkar has recovered quite well. Given a few runs away, but he'll be happy with that double wicket haul. Came back well in that last over.
I get the feeling that Shams Mulani is a bit slowing down today. He's not himself, because he's not the kind of bowler who allows batsmen to play him freely. He's done extremely well for Mumbai last season. Also, I think he was in one of those India A teams for a one-day, but he's looking a bit jaded at the moment.
Only one.
Did they go for the 2? No. He has pulled it back fairly well, though. Milind, because I think he gave 13 runs or so away in the opening over, and he's got only 2 deliveries left. He's given only 31. So it's been a good comeback, and of course a wicket for Mulani.
Keep going, boys, keep going, keep going.
Lefty spinners almost always among the wickets. Salman's also done very well under the circumstances. Nehal Katakdon took 3 the last match, now none for 35, so he had a poor match.
Ball, only 1.
And now the 2. They have to take the 2. Come on. Yeah. Very easy in the end. Sylvester D'Souza came racing in from deep mid-wicket, but it was always 2.
Ball, Shams, ball, Shams.
They need another 3 in this over.
Very well, Shamsi.
Must look out for that boundary without taking undue risks. Still 4 overs to go. 3 overs to go after this. Must look for that big shot. Oh, well ball, right on the spot.
3 overs left. It's 150 for 4.
Live scores, news,
Team preview, match predictions.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
And here we are, lots of supporters, youngsters particularly. It's a weekday, and we can understand that during the day, not too many can make it to the stadium, but I'm very sure that later in the evening we'll get many more people coming to watch this wonderful tournament here, the T20 Mumbai. Yesterday, Sunday, I think we had a high of 15,000 people, which is fantastic. The MCA, Probability Sports, everybody involved in the tournament's onto a very good thing. And this is only the 2nd season. I was talking to one of the organizers, they said, next year, much more, and I have no doubt about that.
So the 18th and 20th overs will be bowled, or should be bowled, by the skipper, Dhawal Kulkarni, the most experienced cricketer in this team, or perhaps in his entire league. Beauty. Slower delivery, such a wily customer, isn't he?
Without question. As a skipper and as a team, they're under all sorts of pressure, but he has done well individually all the way through. Given only 10 runs from his 2 overs. Here's a short third, Arjun Tendulkar, and backward point. So that's the cover behind square on the off. And that's where he must keep the deliveries, just outside off. Oh, well done. Pops up, should be taken. And his backward point, Nehal gets underneath it. And yet another wicket falls for the Panthers. What a terrific start. Not such a memorable closure to this innings, of course. There are still 2.5 overs left.
The experience of Dhawal showing, he rolled his fingers over the ball for him to spoon the ball to point. It's a nice little dolly.
Shake of the head for Shashikant Kadam. Didn't do very much today. 150 for 5. Didn't really look like he was into it, Shashikant Kadam. And also, of course, his strike rate, judging from previous matches, was not the sort of strike rate that you expect somebody to accelerate wildly towards the end. So it'll have to be Karnande, who's currently batting on 140, and he's now joined by Atif. Atif Atharwala was magnificent in getting some nearly 30 in very quick time the previous match he played, and that knock was very important. So he's not only a wonderful bowler who I think is topping our bowling charts in terms of wickets, but he's a handy contributor late down the order. So this could still be a good 12 and 4, 16 balls for the North Mumbai Panthers. We'll see.
9 matches, just the 42 runs, but a big innings last evening. And a strike rate of 150. He's come at the right time because Atif can swing the ball with his bat, of course. Oh, beauty. Superbly bowled.
Comes Malani, who was at long on. Races to ensure there's only two. Now here we are again. Kind of held up a bit. Check the shot as well. He might be regretting that, saying, why didn't I just go through it? But the man who gave us a comic moment in the field earlier on does hang on to it quite efficiently. He's a lefty, mind you, going to his natural side. How's that for a double wide? we'll allow him that. What? Where's the indication? Not a wide. I thought it was miles above the batsman, but I'm not at the right place.
Well, the umpires have a different idea, Charu. Oh, that is definitely a wide.
Well, listen, I'm no umpire, but you see a bit. Well, let's just say I wasn't at square leg, so we'll have to go with the umpire's verdict. But I think Dhaval Kulkarni has just gotten out of jail. Will not have to bowl an extra ball, no wide, not that one at any rate. Edge, there is a third man, pretty fine. Should be only a single.
The experience of Dhaval is showing. He's just given the 3 runs of 5 balls with a wicket. Absolutely wonderful. And he will obviously bowl the last over.
Been a wonderful spell by the skipper, and what must be going through his mind when the opposition went off or accumulated lots of runs to begin with. He must have been fearing, that's the ball again, and banged in. Where is it? Not even in the frame. So what's a wide now? I'm Milan.
You're right, absolutely. I wonder what made the leg umpire not give that decision. Maybe he's standing in the shadows, so it's difficult to see it.
Oh, wild. Now, is that a wide? No, inside the guidance line. Dhaval Kulkarni has done very well to peg it back here. He's bowled 3, taken 1 for 13. 2 left. It's 1-5-3 for 5. But really, they have to race on now. Very disappointing that they've gone to 153. After being nearly 110 overs. So at that point of time, I had no doubt in my mind, with a few batsmen still to come. In fact, we hadn't even lost a single wicket. The first wicket was 94. And I thought 200 was finally going to be seen in T20 Mumbai 2019. Not to be.
In that opening stand, they were striking at 11 runs per over. They've come down to 8.5. But that's what happens in this kind of cricket. People who are set, the batters who are set, one of them needs to carry on. You've got to find the gaps. You've got to control your innings. Because once you're out, the next few men who come in have to settle down for an over or 2, by which time the fielding side bowls its overs quickly, another over or 2, and about 8 to 10 balls are gone.
Well, see how it's all deteriorated for North Mumbai Panthers. 52-46, and they're not very much at all. Arjun Tendulkar gets another over, bowling his third from the commentator end, the north end. Oh, well fielded. You pierce that gap and it's 4. Good work by Gomal at backward point.
He's made amends for that 2 runs that he gave. And what a brilliant stop this is. This is simply outstanding. A surely certain boundary.
I think Tendulkar will go and thank him later in private. Okay, Atif Atharwala was magnificent. He faced what, just about 10-12 deliveries, got about 28 or so, 26 in the previous innings. So his team can still expect a similar onslaught. Arjun has been erring in line or length every once in a while. What happens here? Oh, straight back. Well done. Nice and full. Good comeback by young Tendulkar.
Well bowled, a nice Yorker. 17 balls since the last boundary. That's a nice Yorker, straight into that block hole. No place, no room for the batsman to hit it anywhere. No worries, Arjun. You don't have to apologize for that. You've done a great job. Well stopped. For a tall, lanky 6 feet 2 inch boy to come down is not easy.
Well, again, pretty good delivery, although low full toss could have gone anywhere, but an inside edge to short fine. A little left or right of Salman, and that would have gone for 4. It went straight to short fine. And the Panthers here will be thinking, listen, we don't have much luck towards the end of this innings.
So far, so good. Just the 2 runs of 3 balls. Don't try anything anymore. Just do what you've been doing. A Yorker or a slower delivery.
Okay, I wonder if Arjun's listening to Grand Uncle Rega here. He goes round the wicket now to the right-hander. Oh, got him! Tendulkar's third. Nande tried to make room, went outside off. And for that scoop, missed it completely. That's always a dangerous shot. Tendulkar was bang on.
What I like is his demeanor. He's so calm and cool. No high fives. Look at him. He saw him going inside the line and bowled a straightforward ball. That's all. But that needs a lot of judgment and a lot of talent. Well done, Arjun.
Nande needs 25, but his side needed a lot more from him. 155 for 6. And I must compliment Arjun for not running around the field and otherwise over-celebrating. I think he just walked down the pitch. And it's not that he takes 3 wickets in T20 Mumbai every day, so he had every right to celebrate. But I think he wants much more out of himself, and that's always a good sign. 2 deliveries still left in this over. What a terrific comeback for Arjun Tendulkar. 3 for 25 so far, after going for 13 in that opening over and being taken away by Dhawal Kulkarni. And compliment, of course, to Kulkarni for bringing him back, which he didn't do the last match.
Maybe in the next few games he should be used judiciously, because I get the feeling that with the older ball, he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He bowls a slower ball, he bowls a leg cutter, he bowls a quickish delivery.
Atif Atharwala is at the non-striker's end. And he'll finally get to face just the 1 delivery here, which is not too good for the batting side. Gomal comes up with the field. There he is. Oh, you have to connect. And he's very cross with himself, Karnande. Little too full for that, I suspect.
And the good thing is that he bowled straight. He didn't try to alter his line because of the angle that the batsman was at. Had a keen observing young Tendulkar, watching till the very last where to bowl. He's done a good job, Charu, just the 3 runs.
Without question. His final delivery in this match, because the 20th will most likely be bowled by the skipper. Just minor adjustments to the field. Third man's up for the lefty. Atif Atharwala, backward point, where the boundary fielders. They've got a cover sweeper and a long off, and of course 3 in the boundary on the leg. Atif Atharwala can go big. And he does try to, but along the ground to long off. And young Shedgate makes sure it's only a single. Atif Atharwala will retain the strike though in the last over. It's 157 for 6.
Since last boundary, 21 balls. That's a long time in the last few overs. You at least need a few boundaries, couple of sixes, but the bowlers have done a great job of holding the North Mumbai Panthers back after that tremendous start.
Without question, you have to compliment the bowlers. They've not only kept it tight, they've taken wickets at regular intervals, and the North Mumbai Panthers will be kicking themselves for not being somewhere in the late 190s or the late hundreds somewhere, late 100 somewhere, let me get that right, even if it weren't to be 200. And now with maybe, what can we expect, 10, 12 in the last over? If they throw their bat around, it's going to be about 165, 170 at the most. And although that's still a pretty good score on this pitch, because we've seen maybe 150 is difficult to chase, but a 190 would have possibly shut the match away. Dhawal Kulkarni will hold the last over. It's underneath it. Can't have cover everywhere, and that will be 4.
It's a good start for Atif. He's capable of hitting those big runs. Just open the face of his bat. This is going to be an interesting over, because the game can be that's right on top of the third man fielder. Dhawal will have to be, if he's going to be fuller, he's going to be in the he's got to be in the stumps, because if you allow Atif to free his arms, he's going to hit you all over the place.
Yeah, you make a good point. I was about to say it wasn't such a bad delivery. It was pretty full, but because it was wide of the stumps, Atif Atharwala gave it the big heave-ho, and off the outer edge of the bat, that sailed over backward point for a boundary. So maybe closer to the off stump and that same length. Adjustments in the field by the skipper. Third man once again comes up. Not once again, third man comes up. We now have Arjun Tendulkar in the cover region. So behind square on the off, there's no cover there at all. Atharwala can target that area. Oh, he possibly was. Asks for a wide and he will get it. Maybe some principles of natural justice here, because in the previous over, I think Dhaval got away twice.
Yeah, look at, it's definitely a wide. Nowhere in the range of the batsman. He hadn't moved at all.
Now I'm going to play contrary. I think that was within the guiding line when it passed the batsman and went outside of that only once it left. So, of course, a wide is generally to be judged from where it leaves the batsman, and at that point in time, I think it was inside the guiding line. But here we go. Oh, didn't quite catch that at all. High on the blade. Shams Mulani races in from long off.
Kulkarni is too experienced at this stage. He's not going to give you a full-length delivery in your zone to swing your bat. A great comeback. At one stage, I really thought, Charu, they would definitely get to 180, 185. But in this format of the game, if you lose wickets, then it becomes very difficult for the new batsman to come in, settle himself. It takes about 4 or 5 balls, by which time an over is gone.
I was being even more generous to the batting side, perhaps even naive, thinking maybe 200. But haven't they pulled it back really well? And this is going to be another big test, the final 4 deliveries for the batting side, because they've got a new man in, Patil, Ajinkya Patil, not known to be a big striker of the ball. And Dhaval Kulkarni, if he gets his field right, and of course his line and length right, could really strangle the batsman. Oh, well done. Brilliant delivery. Well done, Patil, also for getting his bat down. And now Atharwala has the option in the last 3 deliveries to try and go big. Full license, 4 wickets left.
Too experienced Dhaval. He knows he's going to go for a swing. And look, he almost drops that ball at his toes.
Lots of encouragement to the skipper. Very well balled, Dhawan. He knows that. Okay, how's he going to finish? Because as we've seen, T20 matches go virtually to the last delivery. There's only a run here or run there in the match. And if he gives a few here, then the batting team will go back a little more confident. And if Dhawan can keep it very quiet. Oh, okay, now is that going to be a wide? Is he going to get away with it again? Now the umpire indicates that's not above head height.
Let's have a look at that.
Well, okay, that may be, you know, 50-50, so we'll go along with that, a slow bouncer. Well bowled, 2 deliveries left. Atharwala can only watch that sail past. Now, what does Dhaval do? We know Atharwala can hit it big, so still maybe 8-10 runs possible. Last 4 overs, they were striking only at 6.2. Would you believe it? Yeah, up and under, and will that go to the boundary? It will. Big gap there. Kulkarni tried the same delivery. Atharwala was wise to it.
I suppose Atharwala was aware that he's going to bowl a short delivery, which is slower. Watched it all the way and gave it the necessary direction. Nobody in the deep to defend that. If Kulkarni has to bowl so short, he should have had somebody in that deep point position, especially last 2 or 3 deliveries.
There's no point having long on, long off if you're going to bowl short, and I think that's what he has done. He's brought Shams Mulani in from long off to mid off, and I suspect he now has 2 people behind square on the off.
I think this is a comfortable score, Charu. 168, 170. After the debacle in the middle, what a shot!
Oh! Well, Atif Atharwala has almost taken a colleague away. Straight at Ajinkya Patil. Took it on the body and and prevented what could have been at least another run or two. They still did take the single. The 169 is where they end up. At one stage we thought maybe 199. The bowlers have pulled it back magnificently, particularly this man, the skipper. 4 overs, 1 for 25. A good spell anywhere, anytime in a T20 game. Arjun Tendulkar among the wickets today. 3 of them. The bowlers did pull it back fabulously. So North Mumbai Panthers, Milind, must be wondering, where did we go wrong here?
Yeah, I suppose there was nothing in the middle after a great start, and that's what's necessary. Somebody like a Sairaj Patil should have consolidated. Anyway, that's not a bad score really. 170 to chase is not an easy target.
Yeah, you make an important point. I think we were getting greedy on behalf of the Panthers, thinking that 190, 200, and for the spectators, for all of us, it's nice to see a high-scoring match, or an innings at least. But wonderful work after that 94 opening stand, where both Vikrant and Tagankar were going equally well. Nothing much thereaafter. The bowlers, Arjun Tendulkar, 13 runs off his first over, and then finishing with 3 for 27. Terrific comeback. A wicket apiece for Kulkarni, Molani and Salman. The spinners typically bowl very well. All right, we're down to hear from one of the players.
We were pretty certain that it was going to be a 200-plus total for the North Mumbai Panthers, but the gentleman standing next to me had other ideas. Gone for 13 in your first over, Arjun. You came back, variety, you changed your pace. You obviously had thoughts when you had that second spell.
Yeah, I just didn't lose hope in my ability because I've worked hard for this tournament and might as well enjoy it here. And there are going to be tough times as a player. You've just got to have a big heart and bowl fearlessly, that's all.
What was the team talk after the power play went for so many runs, and at the halfway mark you were almost over 100, the opposition?
Not really. We just stuck to the basics and we were like, execute what you've been practicing and stick to your stance. Don't try anything fancy. When I came back to bowl, I just thought, take pace of the ball and go for the Yorkers, which is my strength, nothing more.
We could see you were thinking about it, because not only the couple of wides, you had a catch dropped off you, a little frustrated, but you were a different Arjun coming back for the second spell.
Yeah, because most of my wickets, I've got them with the old ball. So I just thought this is my strength with the old ball and go and execute my plans. That's all.
Final question. I know they were looking at 200, but in isolation, how do you look at the score of 169 as a target for your batters?
It's slightly difficult on this pitch, but if we bat to our full potential, it can definitely be chased.
Well, your second spell was a dream spell, 3 wickets. Well bowled, Arjun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gautam. Thanks, Arjun. And I think he reflected what Milind Regeya said, that it may not be that easy, but the Aakash Tigers will come back and try and get 170 at 8.5 now. The MCA does have plenty of youngsters here in the T20 League. And why are they there? Because of a wonderful system put in place by the association. That's what we'll take a look at before we get to a break.
I've heard stories of legends. Legends who changed the game forever. Of gods who rain down storms from their bats. Stories etched in gold, made from sweat, blood, and tears. Today, I stand where they once stood. There are many more stories left to be told here at the MCA. I hope you're listening.
Well, the ebbs and flow in a T20 game. Very evident in how we've seen the first innings pan out. A terrific start, past the 100 mark in no time. And then things changed. Eventually, they managed just the 169. Vikrant Auti, the stand-in captain in Prithvi Shaw's absence, scoring a half-century. Dhagaukar missed out, courtesy of that rank bat shot, scoring 46 of 26, and they finish it 169 for 6. If you look at the bowling card, you'll see a certain Arjun Tendulkar picking up 3 wickets, an expensive first over, brought back in the middle overs, and especially towards the end, got a couple of wickets, one on the first ball and the other one off Karan Nande. So then let's take a look at how the innings panned out. Terrific start straight away. Vikrant Auti, a drop catch. Vishal was dropped the first slip. There's run out chance as well. There were a couple of moments where the Aakash Tigers could have made the opening overs look very different, but then it was just one-way traffic in the first 10 overs especially. Lots of big shots, that half a chance going the Panthers' way, and then a flurry of shots all across the park from Vikrant Auti. He used his feet, used the crease very well, made room, very quick to pounce on anything that was just short. Vishal as well as Vikrant Auti, and at that stage when these two guys were going all guns blazing, we thought they would have a couple of 100 runs, the first 200 maybe for the team. Nawal Kulkarni was struggling to find options, but it looked like he had nowhere to go in the first 10.
Oh yes, absolutely, but then bowled well, the Aakash Tigers. Couple of back-to-back wickets. This is how Vikrant got to his half-century. Vikrant Auti there playing a captain's knock. But soon after he scored his half-century, going for that big hit, was caught at deep mid-wicket, scored 52, Vikrant Auti, before holding out to mid-wicket. A couple of good shots, one from Karan Nande towards wideish long off, and then one from Sairaj Patil inside out. What a lovely shot that was. Then a couple of big hits that were there of Arjun's bowling, but then Arjun came back really strong. Then he picked up that wicket, caught at deep mid-wicket, a good catch there by the substitute Akre. Then that outside edge, first ball, a golden duck there. And then the change of pace that was there, good bowling once again from Dhawal Kulkarni, and this time Arjun Tendulkar, the good old adage of you miss, I hit. And then it was Dhawal Kulkarni who bowled that last over. Couple of boundaries there, a short ball that was outside the off stump, and that is where the innings panned out. Winning the toss, electing to bat first. North Mumbai Panthers have scored 169. The Aakash Tigers need 170 to win in 20 overs at a required run rate of 8.5 per over. We'll be back in a short break with the chase.
Live scores, news,
Team preview, match predictions.
Fan code.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
Seems to enjoy opening the innings, was sent in last time as well. Not afraid to play his shots. Only in his fourth T20 Mumbai match. He's got starts, but he'll want to go on to get a big one today. 170, not a small total. He'll have to start well. Remember, no Prithvi Shaw in action today for the North Mumbai Panthers, and yet they got off to an absolute blinder. Aakash Gomel, who plays a lot of Akarshak shots, to partner Arjun Tendulkar, a strike rate of 127, 10 sixes, which means he loves to go for those big ones if the opportunity presents itself. And looks like, yes, they will start with a spinner. Manish Batavia in the commentary box with Prasanna Sant alongside. Interesting chase, should be like.
Yeah, good evening, Manish. Good evening to all. Yes, it's going to be an interesting chase. 170 to win in 20 overs. Rahul Sawant, the left-arm spinner, to bowl the first over of the chase. 120 balls, 170 to win. There's a slip in place, a backward point. Point covers mid-off. Deep mid-wicket and long on at the two fielders outside. That's a good start this to the left-arm spinner. Once again, Manish, left-arm spinners doing well.
He likes to go over that cow corner. Arjun Tendulkar on the onside. We'll see for how long he waits. Maybe a couple of deliveries. And if it's in the arc, it will go out of the park. He's got the forearms, the strength. He's got the reach as well. There is a slip in place. He'll have to be watchful. They are chasing 170. So I'm going to be very, very keenly, very closely watching their approach together in the first 6. Goes big straight away. Outside edge. Well, a lucky break for Arjun Tendulkar. He won't mind that.
Yes, he'll definitely not mind that, Manish. As you rightly said, he'll go for the big one if he gets that. Going for that drive, getting that kickish outside edge. There's a slip in place, but no chance for the fielder there. Opens his account, and the tally of the Aakash Tigers with that boundary. Good intent, though, there, Manish.
Lots of clarity of thought, and I like that about Arjun, because no half measures there, whether it's with the ball or the bat. Seems to go for it, still early days in his career.
Easy. Only do.
He thought about the two, and there was no second there. There was a fielder waiting at the mid-wicket boundary.
Mangela, the fielder there at deep mid-wicket. 5 for no loss. A boundary already in the first over. A boundary followed by a single. Now it's going to be the right-handed Aakash Gomel to face his first ball. Once again, a right-hand, left-hand combination, like what happened with the North Mumbai Panthers.
Aakash Gomel, the man on your screen, scored 38 in their first game against the Eagle Thane Strikers. It's a game that they lost, but here's an opportunity for Gomel. Clearly going down leg, loud shout. I often refer to this as R.D. Burman's halai in Mumbai cricket.
Yes, definitely those wonderful words that are used in the Mumbai local circuit. A loud appeal, but turned down by the umpire. Last ball of the first over coming up. Dot ball to finish the first over, 5 for no loss.
Tendulkar-Gomel duo in pursuit of 170 out there. Gomel has been the man in form for the Aakash Tigers, scored runs in every game they've played so far. I remember that innings he played in the first game of the tournament on the 14th. Scored 41 against the defending champions, the Triumph Knights. The Aakash Tigers won that game, chasing 147. Atif Atharwala comes in. Now Arjun Tendulkar perhaps will be well served if he takes a cue from Gomel's book. On strike now, Tendulkar, a slip in place. Fine leg inside the circle. Here we go. Makes room, plays that along the ground. Gorgeous shot. Wow.
What a shot that was, coming down the wicket and in that gap between covers and mid-off. The second boundary for Arjun Tendulkar. The first one was tricky, but this time right to the middle of the bat. Lovely shot. That'll make him feel good, putting pressure on Atif Attarwala immediately on the first ball that he bowls. Welcoming him with that boundary is Arjun Tendulkar.
So then, is he going to dig it in short? Slower, same shot, the result the same. Back-to-back boundaries for Tendulkar. Calmly abroads.
Oh yes, wonderful shot there. The only difference this time was that he did not come down the track. Here it was a wonderful stride, and once again in the gap, exactly in the same area where he hit the previous shot. Good batting this from Arjun Tendulkar. He has had a good day with the ball, picking up 3 wickets, and now promoted up the order, opening the batting. It's been a good start for him. 3 boundaries so far for Aakash Tigers, coming all off the bat of Arjun Tendulkar.
Fielder drops back, long leg boundary. Let's take a look at his length now. Down the track. He hasn't hit that as well as he would have liked to. Oh, the fielder's all over it. Gave him 2 more. It will give him 2 more. It's been a good over so far. Just the kind of shots you need at the start of the innings, chasing 170.
Praveen Tambe, the fielder there at mid-on. It was a skyer. Went really high up. Praveen Tambe there, the fielder. But 2 runs taken. Arjun Tendulkar now is back on strike. Trains really hard is Arjun Tendulkar with his batting, bowling. And there's a long on now. So Praveen Tambe from mid-on comes to mid-off, and the mid-on goes to long on, change of personnel.
What are the chances he'll target that mid-off area now? Go after the senior man, Praveen Kaka, flicks it away.
Yeah, this time flicks it away towards mid-wicket for a single. So good batting this from Arjun. 16 that he's batting on in this match. Versus Supersonics scored 13 in 8 balls. Versus the Strikers scored 23 in 18 balls. So versus the Knights scored 23 in 19 balls. Got starts in every match and good healthy strike rate as well, Manish.
Feeling Dhawal Kulkarni might have sent him in with a clear message. You have the license to thrill, just go for it. Doesn't matter what happens. And maybe he enjoys that kind of freedom. That's the role for him in this side. Good start. Let's see how Aakash Gomel now responds. As I said earlier, he's been among the runs, 40s and 30s in the 3 games he's played so far. But they've lost 2, so this is a pressure chase for the Aakash Tigers. Slip still in place. Going cross, goes straight. He's hit that so hard. The bowler lucky to have taken his hands away from that ball.
Yes, Atif Attarwala there was in the firing line. What a shot that was from Aakash Gomel, his first boundary. Brilliant batting this and putting pressure on Atif Attarwala. He's been the top bowler in the Mumbai T20 League, the highest wicket taker, 15 runs already that he has conceded.
Well, that open stance, as you can see, against the left armer, is coming in over the wicket, ready with that kind of stance to play it wherever he wants. So that kind of adjustment that batsmen make these days. Look at that, 43 is highest in that last game against the Supersonics, who have been unbeaten so far, the Supersonics. Gomel has been their top scorer, but they need this win to stay in contention for that semi-final spot. Much slower this time, asking questions. Atif Attarwala, 2 gone, 20 without loss.
Sorry.
Confident start for the Aakash Tigers. They need 150 more. 3 boundaries for Arjun Tendulkar. 1 streaky, 2 intentional. Bit of chirp from the wicket keeper. Plays it off the back foot. Very interesting to see the kind of range of strokes he has. Scott starts. Can he come up with a big one? That's what they need.
A loud appeal there once again, but good alertness calling for that single. As you rightly said, Manish, Scott starts. Even in this match, the leg bye signalled. He's got a good start. Arjun is batting on 16. It's important for the opening batsman to lay that strong foundation, as was laid by the North Mumbai Panthers opening batsmen Vishal and Vikrant. Ball just sliding down the leg side, it looked like. It's important now, these opening batsmen, once again a left-hand, right-hand combination. Important for them to get a good start because they're chasing a target of 170. It's important to maximize these power play overs. Maximum of 2 fielders allowed outside 30-yard circle. Down the leg side. Wicket keeper has also missed that. Good stop there. Good stop by the fielder there at fine leg. Shashikant Kadam, the fielder, the umpire signals that as wide. So 3 runs added. Welcome runs these.
Missed everything. They ran just 2. They could have run an extra run there. Should have been 3 plus the wide. And once again, struggling to find that rhythm. Savant. These are going to be expensive runs for the North Mumbai Panthers. At one stage, the Tigers were perhaps staring at a target of about 190, 200. That's the impression we got. At the 10-over mark, they was scoring at a fair clip at 10 and over. It's how things change in the middle overs. That's what the Tigers will need to be watchful for.
Yes, absolutely. They got off to a great start, and when we were on air, Manisha, we discussed that it could be about 180, 190, 200 also was on the cards in the mid-overs. It's in the air. Oh, dropped. Mangela, the fielder there, it covers. Catch that goes down, a single taken.
Somebody needs to give him a pair of shades. There's a sun in his eyes, I suspect, which could have been the reason. Let's take a look at it. This, at this level, was takeable. Wasn't quite sure whether to point his fingers upwards or down. Maybe that's the dilemma that perhaps caught him in that awkward moment, trying to dive to his right. But that chance is gone. 3 gone, 26 without loss.
So good crowd building up here at the Wankhede Stadium. North Mumbai Panthers 169 for 6 and 20 overs. Vikrant Dowdy 52, Vishal Dagaukar 46. The 2 opening batsmen gave a great start to the North Mumbai Panthers, but then Arjun Tendulkar picked up 3 wickets. Dhaval Kulkarni also bowled well. Praveen Tambe being introduced into the attack. The senior pro, senior professional, playing his 10th match, picked up 8 wickets. He'll hold the key for the North Mumbai Panthers with his wily old leg spin that he'll bowl.
He's bowled a flatter trajectory. I'd like to see him toss it up a little bit. Maybe see how Gomel goes. This time plays it straight. Safe shot. Percentage cricket. Calculated risk. Pays off this time. Straight away going after Praveen Tambe.
Yes, exactly as you rightly said, Manisha. They're attacking the bowlers right in their first overs. They attacked Atif Attarwala, and the first ball that Praveen Tambe bowls dispatched over mid-on. 1 bounce into the fence. This time it's Aakash Gomel who gets that boundary right to the middle of the bat. Good batting, counter-attacking batting, and the chase is on.
Okay, and as I said, it's a trifle predictable. Bowls at flatter line. This time much shorter, compensating. There's some protection. Brings Arjun Tendulkar on strike. So then, Praveen Tambe was a 28-year-old leg spinner in local cricket when Arjun Tendulkar was born.
That's the beauty of this league, the Mumbai T20 league, and that's where it's the senior versus the youngster. The battle is on. There's a deep mid-wicket, there's a long on. The two fielders outside the 30-yard circle.
Hits it straight. Have a look at his bat speed. Gave it a whack. Hardly any follow-through there from Arjun. He can play along the ground as well.
Yes, can play and back to punch with that shot. Look at that shot. Flighted ball and wonderful timing there. Court batting.
A helicopter shot style. Wow, look great. Along the ground though.
This is nicely bowled. The wrong one. Praveen Tambe nicely bowled that. What wonderful control with his leg spin. Completely beating the batsman. Good bowling.
That's the first time he's tried some change of pace. Straight away looks a much better bowler. Praveen Tambe completely foxing young Arjun. Again, flatter, quicker. May not work against these two. He like the ball coming on. Gomel and Arjun. They're scoring at a pretty good rate of 9.39. Required under 8.5 at this stage.
Yes, even Atif Akhtarwala, the first over that he bowled was scored 15 runs of his first over. Praveen Tambe bowling his first over already 10 runs of his first over. The last ball coming up off the fourth over. Lighted ball this time over mid-wicket. Acres of empty space there. One bounce into the fence. A boundary to finish the over. 40 for no loss.
Well, he's persisted with Sawant. It was expensive in his first over. Extras as well. Arjun Tendulkar happy to just stroke it away on the onside. Let's take a look at what happened of the last ball. And much flatter, predictable trajectory, open space on the onside. Just went through with that shot. Gomel, he's been among the runs. He's found some good rhythm in this T20 Mumbai. Ekdam Mumbai style shot that.
Ekdam Mumbai style shot. This time it is over mid-on. It's going and that's a boundary. So Aakash Gomel, as you rightly said, Manish, Ekdam Mumbai style. Taking it on his own. 45 runs already that the two openers have stitched together. The fifth over in progress. Rahul Sawant bowling his third over straight on the trot in the power play overs. And that shot, is it effected a fielding change? No, it's still the same. There's a mid-wicket that's on the boundary line. There's a long off, the two fielders on the boundary line.
This time he goes in the same direction. Could be costly. It's got him! The first wicket. One shot too many from the man in form, Aakash Gomel. That gives Rahul Sawant a chance to breathe easy after being tonked for a few runs. In pursuit of 170, the Aakash Tigers have lost their in-form opener, Gomel. Perhaps the bat turned in his hands a little bit. The idea was right, the execution not so much. Gomel goes for 18, the Tigers 45 for 1.
So Aakash Gomel, the first batsman out, is looking good. 11 balls, 18 that he scored. But Rahul Sawant getting that wicket. The new batsman is Nehal Katadhon. 125 still needed for the Aakash Tigers in 93 balls. Rahul Sawant has bowled well in the power play overs. 3 overs on the trot, 2.3 overs, 15 runs. And picking up that wicket of Aakash Gomel, who was looking in fine touch. New batsman is Nehal Katadhon, but he'll be at the non-strikers end because the batsman crossed ends while the catch was being taken. Arjun Tendulkar to face Rahul Sawant.
Interesting choice of batsman Nehal Katadhon coming in. And the fall of that wicket of Aakash Gomel. Katadhon typically bats in the middle order, low middle order. Very interesting tactics from Dhaval Kulkarni. Unable to pierce that field and that ring on the offside, Arjun. It will be interesting to see how Nehal Katadhon goes now, given the spinners are in operation for the left-hander. Kambe's deliveries will come in. That was the shot. I think the back turn in his hands was aiming to go much straighter. But safely pouched that by Dhekle playing in his first game. So the left arm spinner, the ball coming in, the leg spinner, the ball coming in. Very interesting tactics. Going down leg for sure. 5 gone, 46 for 1.
Live scores, news,
Team preview, match predictions.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
So not accustomed to batting at number 3. At the moment, all eyes on young Tendulkar.
He can punch the ball pretty hard. He's got a nice long reach to make the drive. He temperamentally seems to be okay.
Would you reckon one of the reasons for probably sending him in is the fact that he was on a high, having taken those 2 wickets, kept them back, or would it just have been a tactic they had pre-decided earlier?
Bold yaar, buddy, well bowled yaar. थोड़ा येऊ शकतो actually.
Captain Outie. Batted really well today. That's been smashed hard. Just trying to get something out of this power play at the fag end of it, the last over of the power play. You can see the sunglasses starting to come off. It's that time of day. Can't decide whether to keep it on or take it off. No indecision as far as the batsmen were concerned. Jersey number 300. Nehal Katadhon. And that's the future of Mumbai cricket right there. You can see the Milind Rege alongside, keeping an eye on everyone, even the spectators in the stands.
I guess that is just the thing to do. Here, Arjun Gautam will have to be careful, because now that he's nicely settled down, now that he's timing the ball, he's got a couple of sweet drives. He needn't come out and slog at every delivery. He's settled, because on this kind of a wicket, if you get out, the next batsman who comes in needs at least 4 or 5 balls to lead the wicket.
You could see their appreciation for that last delivery. That completes the power play, 50 for 1. at that comparison, you can see the North Mumbai Panthers at this stage, the end of the power play was 66 without loss. They still kept going till the 10th over, at which stage we were really thinking 195, 200, 210 perhaps. But that second spell from Arjun Tendulkar, who's now opening the batting, really set them back by about 30 or 40 runs, you'd have to say. 13 of his first over, including a dropped catch, and then 3 for 14 in his second spell. Just got a bond.
Coming back to that Arjun Tendulkar spell, I think maybe he should use him in the middle with the older ball, because I thought he did a lot of things with the new ball, with the old ball. You know, the wickets that went. Aakash Gomal having a big swing.
This time it's live action. That was Tendulkar, the batsman, not the bowler. And I think he would have had his heart in the mouth. Let's see the remaining wickets that he had. That first one came the catch on the boundary. This one was an outside edge. You could see he was varying his pace, using the slower deliveries. And he enjoys, as he said in the interview in the middle, he enjoys bowling with that old ball.
That's why I think they should have tried him in the last game also, to see how much he can do. Because coming around the wicket helps him. He's got that change in pace. And he knows he's got that good Yorker. And I get the feeling that such an opportunity for youngsters in Mumbai's cricket will do them a world of good, because the league is supposed to unearth talent in Mumbai, which is extremely necessary, especially with the fast bowling department.
Now that is touch and go. It's been high in the air, the sun in the fielder's eyes, but what a good catch that is. Karan Nande batted well today and has taken an outstanding catch, because he had the sun in his eyes. He was unsure about where to position himself, but he stayed very still and held on to it at the end. Top class fielding there.
And he was sent out to just have a slog. He had to do what he did, and the typical left hand. I think it was googly, Gautam, as a result of which he didn't time it, but what a catch. This is simply brilliant when they go hard.
Katathon goes for 3, it's 52 for 2.
Who left?
Could that be a very, very crucial wicket?
Stop it. Okay,
Wily old
well
fox,
bowled, buddy.
Praveen Tambe.
Bold.
Was aided, of course, by a brilliant catch, but nonetheless, have to have a look at that delivery, and it well spotted there by Milind Rege, the wrong one.
Pressure time here, boys.
Therefore hitting against the turn, and hence not having the kind of control he would have liked to have had. Yes, he thanks everyone, upstairs and downstairs. He's a character, isn't he? Praveen Tambe.
He's mixing his leg spinners, his flippers.
The end of 7:54 for 2. Looking like a fascinating contest now. Warm evening here at the Wankhede Stadium, T20 Mumbai. In its second season. Oh, that was hit really hard. First thing to look at is if he's got his hand still in place. Never mind the fact that it was a catch. Oh, the captain. Vikrant Auti. Don't think he's done much damage.
I almost thought that the way the ball was struck, oh, that would have been brilliant, Gautam. It would have been one of the most brilliant cotton bowls one has seen. Now, Arjun. That's better. Play it along the ground. Play it along the ground as much as possible. You're nicely set. You scored 28 of just 23. Don't let it go.
He looks to have a good head on his shoulders. Manish and I were almost joking about his pedigree, and we were saying, yeah, he must have some pedigree. Apparently he does.
I remember somebody, either you or Manish, talking about looking at that reference to Google. I don't think Tendulkar name needs to be referred to Google at all, because everybody knows him all over the world. Again, coming back to Arjun Tendulkar, he's got a good head over his shoulder.
Doing well, yeah, boy.
You know, I like his temperament. He's not worried. He's not overawed by the occasion. Plays very freely. He needs to only play sensibly.
Oh dear, just use the word sensible, and that is goodbye Arjun Tendulkar. It's obvious that the voice from the commentary box does not carry to the outfield, or else he would have heard Milind Rege and he wouldn't have played that shot. Well, that was the end of sensibility from Arjun Tendulkar. It was good while it lasted, entertaining while it lasted, but he was looking like he was getting a little bit reckless at this stage, and that's what cost him his wicket. But perhaps that was the role he was sent out to play. Again, another well-judged catch for the North Mumbai Panthers. A bit of a blow. Tendulkar goes for 28. It's 57 for 3. Shams Mulani formed well with the ball, done so last year as well. I can tell you, we might have been saying that they were about 30 or 40 runs short, but the North Mumbai Panthers fancy this total. I bumped into Prithvi Shaw after that Tendulkar interview and asked him, what do you reckon about the score? He said, if you had given me 169 at the start of the innings, I would have grabbed it with both hands. So they're okay. They think there's enough in it for the likes of Praveen Tambe, for the slow bowlers, to cause a bit of panic in the opposition. And so far, they are happy with their 3 wickets. It's 58 for 3 after 8. Not a coincidence that the wickets have gone to the slower bowlers. That was always going to be the tactic to defend the total, which was maybe not as much as they looked as if they were going to get at the halfway mark. Oh, what a catch! Has he taken it, or has it just fallen short? I reckon the captain says, Vikrant Auti, that it didn't carry, but nonetheless a magnificent effort from the skipper.
Gautam, run getting becomes so difficult after the ball has become a little old. Around 8 to 15, 16 overs, run getting is not easy. That's why they'll have to be careful. Once again, Hoik, and finds the boundary. Like I was saying, that they need to be very careful between those overs, because the ball doesn't come onto the bat. The wicket is starting to play up. When the ball is nice and new, it comes onto the bat, so you can hit. This is the crucial period.
I reckon it almost looked like a shot in desperation, but he got the result he wanted. Hard hands from Subramanian. Let's have a look at that boundary again. Just as we were saying, this is at that stage when maybe it's not so easy, so it was a good old-fashioned hoik across the line. Fortunately for him, he picked the gap and hence got the reward.
And the spot. There was nobody over there, like you said, big gap, but quite a desperate shot. A brave shot, because Tambe is a wily bowler. He's seen what he has done. We'll give him nicely tossed half volley, googly, and make him play that shot there again.
First runs for Shams Mulani. Both teams wearing a bit of a new look. 4 changes for the North Mumbai Panthers, including their captain, Prithvi Shaw, missing from the lineup. Couple of changes for the opposite number in light blue. Just a single there.
Settle down, take some singles. He did have a good day today, but again impatient.
Yeah, I think he's having a look at that, their monitor in the dugout, telling himself, I had set myself up for a lot more than that. Oh, well bowled. Praveen Tambe, you wily old fox, 65 for 3. Now, if you relied on star power for your Dream 11 team, I reckon if you'd gone for Arjun Tendulkar, you'd have done really well. He's the highest scorer in the game so far with 47 points. Vikrant Auti, the captain, with 46.
Yeah.
Oh, that was ugly.
That's sheer desperation now. This is what happens when you don't start getting the runs. See, at this stage of the innings, the wicket, the way it is playing, the spin bowlers operating, you're not going to get the boundaries. You're not going to get the big shots. So 2s are possible. There it goes. Terrible shot this is.
Yeah, if you get shots like that, you're not going to be a Dream 11 game changer, that's for sure. Arjun Tendulkar at the moment gets those accolades.
Look where he's played that shot from. Way outside the off stump, ball not turning. That's better. This is exactly, allow a couple of runs to come. Get your eye in, get used to the wicket, and then start tonking the ball around, because driving the off spinner is not going to be easy on the offside.
That's in the gap, but well fielded. Shams Mulani will come back for a second run. Yes, you can see Milind Rege talking about the kind of shots that they've been playing. The only thing at the Wankhede at the moment that's easy to drive is that Skoda there. At the moment, the slowness of the pitch not making it easy for the batsman.
That's right, Gautam. These middle overs are extremely important. You need batsmen who know how to rotate strike, need batsmen who can look for the singles and the 2s, because big shots at this juncture with the loss of 3 wickets will put you back.
Yeah, they're getting to a stage now where they'll have to deal in 6s and 4s, and that was the first indication of that. They were looking a little desperate, and And finally, Subramaniam breaks the shackles and picks up a maximum as we get to the halfway mark. Yes, we saw that car. They deal with 6-year warranty and 4-year insurance. The batsman now will have to deal only in 6s and 4s, and that was a timely boundary with 95 needed of 60 at the halfway mark.
Live scores, news,
Team preview, match predictions.
fan code.
No ads, pure sports.
To the halfway mark, the Tigers still need 95 to win a game that should keep them in contention for the last 4. 3 down now. Tendulkar gone, Gomel gone, Nehal. The experiment didn't quite work. Out for 3 of 8. Completely flummoxed by wily old fox Pramir Thambe. And so it's now up to Shams Mulani and Subramaniam to see how they go. And well, they started off fairly. Oh, that was close. Was a bit lazy to get to the non-striker's end.
That could be close. He's not the quickest, I suspect, between wickets. And he may have been wondering whether the throw is going to come to my end or not. A direct throw, he would have certainly been gone. But even here, close. I don't think the bails come off exactly. And another frame or two. Looks like he may be in. Only now, I think they need to roll it another frame for sure. Now it comes off and he's safely in. So I would not want to be the third umpire on this, but I'd go with the batsman.
The bails need to completely come off the groove, don't they, for the batsman to be given out, or for it to be considered out, as they say, the third umpire, be it Verma, the man in the hot seat.
That's because Kadam, the bowler, was a little too far away from the stumps, and only gently did he finally go for the stumps, by which point I think the batsman was in by only 1 frame. Also, if he had any inkling that the ball was coming to his end, he may have tried the dive. So, well, if there's no other evidence, I'd like to say now the bail comes off, and he's well in. You might have a different opinion.
The benefit of doubt cushion that batsmen have in a game that's becoming increasingly in favor of batsmen. So yeah, well, I think he'll get a bit lucky. Real time it looked out to me.
You can hear the stump cam, all the players are saying out, but that's not their call. There we go, by just a frame. And I have no doubt that the third umpire has been properly generous, benefited out to the batsman. And the reason, once again, because the bowler was just a shade too far. And he had to stretch his hands to touch the stumps. And it took a microsecond longer.
And there's no way they could have used this as an angle to make that decision because the umpire was in the way.
Oh boy, living very dangerously. But Subramaniam here is their main man. He's gotten a couple of good knocks in the tournament so far. Very confident bat. And is that going to be good for two? I think they've had their share of trouble with running, so even though it may have been two, wasn't taken.
So 92 needed off the remaining 57. Do they have the batting depth? They've got Suryansh Shedge. Bhavin Thakkar can hit a couple of big ones as well, but not the kind of player you can rely on. Someone like a Shivam Dubey who comes down the order and has the ability to take the game away. This time with a lot of power along the ground.
Well fielded. What a good throw, and the dive came in. Dekhe, was it?
One bounce.
Dekhe from deep mid-wicket. Good throw coming in, but I like that dive.
He should have thrown that one on the bounce there, which adds a bit of pace. That's exactly what the keeper said. Came to him directly. These days, modern day limited overs cricket, the fielders on the boundary tend to fire it in one bounce. Not to be this time.
So twice in the space of a few deliveries, the batsmen get away with it. But it was no doubt the dive that saved him this time. And of course, he knew that the throw might be coming to his end. So that's what you need in terms of knowledge, whether to dive or not. But they are living dangerously. And I wonder if that dive has, in fact, led to a minor injury, because the physio's in. We certainly want him looked after before we carry on. Yeah, you can see that right hand pretty heavily bandaged near the elbow area. And yeah, it's Subramaniam Doraiswamy, who's such a valuable member of the team. We'd hate for him to be incapacitated for the rest of the matches, or certainly even for this.
Yes, keeper batsman dived for dear life. He dived after it crossed that line. One of those instinctive things to do, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is not good news. And I do think it's not the elbow so much, but the shoulder takes a lot of strain when people dive. And yeah, when you dive sort of more head first than body first, the shoulders tend to take a lot of strain. And it's a delicate joint, or a sort of complicated joint. We certainly hope that he can be revived here. I say once again, he is, to my mind, the last recognized batsman in this squad, which really hasn't had much in terms of runs collectively. If I remember correctly, nobody's got a 50. There you go. Rather easy at deep mid-wicket. Very excitable, the fielder. Then Praveen Tambe getting Nehal to hoik one, and it was a very good catch in the end after he misjudged it to begin with. And finally, Tendulkar, after doing a lot of hard work, holds out to long off.
So as we've seen on so many occasions in this T20 Mumbai, Charu, a lot of these innings start out like an Abbas Mastan thriller, and in the middle overs, they feel like a silent film, like Alamara in the 30s. Why? I wonder what changes suddenly in the 7th over.
A nice solid pull, but there's a man there. Yeah, Milind and I were talking about it, and I was, you know, suggesting that there should be at least two men who can go hard in every squad, or every 11, playing 11, because one of them needs to be sent in the middle orders to see whether he can make a change, you know, just push things around, get the bowlers out of their comfort zone. And one of them later in the innings towards the death to push things along. 81 for 3.
Let's see Atul Project's run graph. Well, I'm sure there is more FSI available in western suburbs. There is a chance of having more number of skyscrapers on that graphic, especially after the first 5 or 6 overs. Runs are always available.
You're just getting back to the psychology of slow scoring in the middle, and even though it's only 20 overs, you can argue it's all very quick anyway. But maybe teams have gotten to a standard practice of not wanting to lose more wickets in the middle, so that you have at least 1 or 2 decent batsmen for the last 3 or 4 overs to be able to accelerate. And that's why the scoring in the middle just tends to drop, because of the fear of losing wickets. Oh gosh, no, not another run out, please. This is really very bad from these two.
I have a very strong feeling the Mumbai Cricket Association is going to hold another separate camp only to focus on running between for everyone who's featured at the T20 Mumbai. This is funny. It's a comedy.
Well, luckily, of course, there was some sharp shouting, which kept any run out away.
The difference very evident from the power play to the middle overs. It's almost like Usain Bolt after the 6-over mark, after crossing that 100-meter mark, says, all right, time to just jog across like I'm running a marathon. We'll see how it goes towards the end.
Yeah, what a name you mentioned. Very special athlete. Once that goes past short fine, that's going to be 4. PT is not going to chase it anymore. So that's what happens in the middle overs. Unless the bowling is loose, runs suddenly come at a big premium. And if it's tight, then you don't want to lose a wicket, and it's just singles here, singles there. That doesn't help the cause. So when you're batting first, that sometimes is okay, because even in this case, you know, well, actually, they started very well. But usually, the side batting first can accelerate quite wildly towards the end, because they know that, well, we've got 7 wickets in hand, or 6, we've got 4 overs to go, let's go for it. It's a little more difficult. I think it was a quicker one, and kept a little low as well, so he missed on that big slog. But what happens for the chasing team is that you know that you want to keep your wickets in hand. Yeah, lucky to get away. And then if you don't have big appeal and given, was that headed down leg? The batsman seems to suggest that. The umpire agrees with the bowler and the keeper.
Well, I reckon it looked out real time. Hitting leg, I think it is. We'll check that. Subramaniam Doraiswamy. They've got enough reprieves with the runouts, but not this time. The umpire was very convinced. His finger went up straight away. Hitting leg for sure.
Well, I tend to agree with the umpire. And Doraiswamy, of course, will feel very hard done by when he takes a look at it later. When they have some video replays, he will realize that was an error. 26 in 20. 87 for 4.
And once again, that same story. A good-looking chase getting derailed for some strange unknown reasons. We'll have to perhaps commission a research to some top consultancy to find out what exactly happens.
Nerves also. I mean, let's not underestimate the whole concept of pressure while chasing. Because when you start going behind, that's another look. Went back, although it's a front pad. I don't think it's done too much, even though there was the angle to consider, but that might certainly have clipped leg. And had we more technology, then we might have had to go with the umpire on that one.
Well, Doraiswamy now inside the dugout can lick his wounds and nurse that injured right shoulder.
So earlier today, very important ceremony. Suryansh Shedge, only 16, given the cap as he made his debut in the playing 11. Welcome to big-time cricket.
That tall at 16? It's an unfair world, Charu.
Well, you know, tell that to Sachin Tendulkar. He says, hey, who cares?
Well, his son has more than made up for that lack of vertical reach. Quite tall. As you said on day one, you said he's got the Mehta genes as far as height is concerned.
You remember. Ball luckily didn't go all the way to deep mid-wicket. Mangela, who I think earlier dropped a sitter, this time no problem. But you can see the batsman getting more frustrated now, because when they do hit, trying to look for a boundary is going to fielders. Otherwise, of course, you keep tapping it around, then it's easy for singles, but you don't want a good hit to go for a single as well. Oh, 2 sounds! Maybe not.
Nerves, 16-year-old. Reassuring signal to his partner. Hike. And look close. Look very close.
Missed his bat, missed the stumps. This time, nice turn of the wrist. Well, he's ready for 2, but I don't think his current partner there, Shams Mulani, might want to race quickly. He already had 1 near run out.
Suryansh, the 16-year-old, playing with the big boys at the T20 Mumbai, the biggest platform in T20 in the City of Dreams.
I wonder how Mulani is going to look after young Shedgay, whether he's going to allow him equal strike. Oh, that will go. Oh, brilliant! Sairaj Patil could not do too much with the bat today. He has certainly contributed in the field. Diving stop to his left when we were about to say that should go through. It didn't. 13 gone, 93 for 4.
.77 needed, a 42 in a must-win game if they have to give themselves any chance of making it through to the Final Four. Remember, the top 2 in each group qualify for the knockouts. Group A, 1 plays Group B 2, and Group A 2 plays Group B 1. Typical semi-final final format. A changed format this time, 2 groups of 4 each, but it's now up to Mulani, the senior man, to support this man. See how it goes. The 16-year-old Atif Attarwala back into the attack. Keeping it simple, the youngster. It's a tough one, isn't it, for the youngster to come in at this time, and the asking rate is at 11.27. Does he think of his own career, making that first impression, or does he say, forget about it, let's just go for it?
Well, without question, the asking rate's very tough. But what's more important is what's the dugout instruction? He does have 1 senior player with him, Shams Mulani, who's played for Mumbai as well. So what's the instruction? Go out there and enjoy yourself, don't worry? Or, hey, listen, we're depending on you. Well played. Maybe the instruction, well, with 7 overs to go, could be Shams Mulani's there. He's pretty decent. We've got a couple other people behind you. So don't go big, because at 16, I wonder if he has the strength to clear the boundary. Play it along the ground. Make sure Shams Mulani gets the bulk of the strike. If you have a loose delivery, of course, go for it, which is always the instruction.
It's also often about the seeds you sow in a young player, isn't it? How are you shaping and molding his attitude when he knows the team needs big runs? Maybe they've said, don't worry about what happens, you will play the next game as well. Because the other option was for them to send in Yogesh Pawar, who's a relatively more experienced player, can hit those big shots as well.
Well, that's what they must be saving for 15, past the 15 overs, the death. Shams Mulani now swings big, and he will find the gap. And that should be the game plan.
Right, they'll need more of these, many, many more of these. 72 more needed of 39, a decent crowd building up in the slot, went for it, enough power, well directed, 4 more.
Well, he's been trying to do that, but finding the fielders in the deep. This time he dissected the gap wonderfully. You could see him grimacing a couple of times when he hit it big and couldn't find the gap. Well done. You just have to clear the infield. And similar gaps exist now on the off. Attarwala has been taken for plenty today.
They might decide to go after him. Again, change of pace. Batsman will have to force the initiative. Chance of a run out. Looks like a goner.
Well, I think he's safe because he was the one who took the decision to go to the danger end. And even though he wasn't running very quickly, there was some level of commitment there. And he should have made it. And I keep using that word. If you're committed to the two, what was my percentage? 19 times out of 10, you're going to make it.
Yes, ran the first one hard in real time. To me, it looked out. He was running to the danger end. Oh, it looked close to me in real time.
Well, we're not at the right angle, are we? But it's the direct throw. Big difference between if the throw hits it directly or whether it's collected and then the stumps are broken. Just one this time.
Let's walk down, play that on the full. Mulani, they've got to keep going. They need at least a boundary and over, if not more. Look at that, the second 50, it took them 46 deliveries. That's where they slowed down.
Yeah, well, that is the middle phase, isn't it? As you've been mentioning. And it's the fear of losing too many wickets in the middle and then not having enough impact players towards the end, which keeps it a little slowed down in the middle. Well below the asking rate for now, requiring 11.19 from this stage. Every over they need 2 boundaries. Do these two guys have it in them to hit some big sixes? Maybe not this young man.
14 gone, 69 more needed. Well, they need some rhythm going. They need a couple of big shots. The man who could have done that is back in the hut, Subramaniam Doraiswamy. Can Mulani play a special knock to keep his team in the reckoning for the semi-finals?
Well, you take a look at this figure of 69 runs needed of 36 balls. You think, oh boy, that's going to be really tough. Why is it tougher still? Because of the inability of the batsman in the crease to hit the big sixes. And that's the value in T20 cricket of impact players such as Surya Yadav for sure. Who's our Sujit Nayak. Yesterday we saw Shivam Dubey, magnificent acceleration. Also Ranjane did so well.
Also Aakash Parkar in special.
Good name there. They should take the 2 here. Let's go. Well, again, Shedgay is very keen because he's young and he's quick. And Shams Mulani says no, also perhaps because he wants to keep the strike. So not only does he not run that quickly, but also Mulani wants the strike, so one can understand that.
16-year-old Shedgay versus the 23-year-old Mulani. They expect him to run fast. This time he's gone for it. Oh, I'm glad he didn't hit that well. Would have landed straight in that pouch.
I'm not even sure Mulani can hit the big sixes at will. On a real gimme, he might be able to, but not with the kind of strength that people like Dubey and Yadav and Nayak. I mean, even their miss hits go for 6. So at this point of time, there's no doubt that Dhawal Kulkarni's team is missing the big hitters.
It's good work by the captain, Auti, because he's used his bowlers so well in these overs when he knows that the batsman will need some pace. He's bowling the spinners.
I must say, Manish, that's pretty standard practice because these lefty orthodoxes have completely eaten up the time and the wickets and all the stardom. Just about every match, a lefty orthodox is one of the heroes.
We've got to look at creating our own left-arm spinners 11. Goes down the track. This should be 6.
I will take my words back. That's big. Well done. Shams Mulani has just said, really? You think I can't hit the big ones? Here we go.
Let's call him Slams Mulani, shall we? 6 number 126 at the T20 Mumbai. Went down the track, went through with the shot. No improvisation from the bowler there. To the left of where we are in the commentary box. Slails through. 15 gone. They need 53 more. Well, yes. Slight confusion there. We do have one more delivery left in the 15. And they need 59 of 31, correction. Mulani, that big six has given his side a glimmer of hope. And someone who's been bang on with his predictions. Milind Rege in the house, in the commentary box, awaiting the august presence of Gautam Bhimani, who is, I believe, gone to check out that Skoda. Milind, where's this game going?
If a couple of, all throughout we've seen, oh, another one.
This time even bigger. Almost went into that top tier of the Sunil Gavaskar pavilion. There's so much attitude in that shot. Now 15 gone. They now need 53 of the last 5.
Well, well, well. Just a couple of deliveries is all it takes to give this entire game a different complexion. Last couple of deliveries. We thought the earlier 6 was a big surprise and a game changer. How about this one? This one was even bigger. We were looking at the likes of Arjun Tendulkar, but could Shams Mulani be our Dream 11 game changer of the match? Certainly with shots like that, he could do it and he could take his team to victory. Suddenly it's changed. 53 of 30 looks so different from 65 of 32. That's a very unique stroke. Let's head down to Karishma and see who she's got.
Well, I have with me Prathamesh Dake. Let's talk about the current match situation.
Well, the situation is pretty even for both the sides, and I feel 30 balls, 51, it's equal for both the sides. But 2 overs from here, 1 or 2 wickets, then we should nail it.
Okay. Do your family and friends watch this T20 league?
Yeah, definitely. They had come in numbers, like 20-25 people with my whole family and friends. They've been here since last 2 matches. So they all are enjoying the T20, and those who cannot come, they're enjoying the match on the TV.
That's my other question. What do you think about this T20 league and the opportunity that it's giving to everyone, and what are your aspirations?
This T20 league is a really good platform for all the cricketers. Like this is one league wherein we all are telecasted on TV and we can showcase our skills. So this is like a good platform for the upcoming Mumbai season as well, and also for the upcoming IPL season as well. So my aspiration for this would be like I would be pretty happy to do well for my team, and we want to win the finals. That is my first thing.
You're a medium fast bowler, so what is your bowling strategy when you go out on the ground?
Well, basically, I'm a wicket-taking bowler, so I would definitely go and like to take wickets over there. That's what we had decided. And taking wickets in T20 is very much important. Runs are going to come, but wickets are equal as well. So once the wickets are there, then the team definitely has to think about what their next strategy is. So I feel as a fast bowler, using my slower ones, using different variations, and even pace at times, they had to be used at proper instances. So I feel that is going to be the key.
And getting along with the boys inside the dugout, because I know you didn't have that much time, but good camaraderie?
Yeah, definitely. We had been playing together since a lot of time, but there are so many people, so many friends out there who we have not played with. So this is a really good time when we should, we can get to know each other very well. So this is a good platform in that sense also, that we can know each other pretty well. So we can know the characters of the people.
Thank you so much. I'm going to throw it back to the commentators. Thank you.
Well, we're coming back right as we see an absolutely cracking shot. Oh, that's got to be one of the shots of the innings.
Good for the youngster. What a shot. He picked the right spot. It's the best shot to play when you play straight. Nobody there at the side screen unless you have a Dhoni as a captain. But this young lad is beginning to look promising.
Let's remind all of you, Suryansh Hetge, just 16 years old. Made a wonderful boundary there now, and it's 46 needed of 24, 124 for 4. It's all in the hands of these two. The experience of Shams Mulani, who's shown that he's hit those 2 massive sixes. And Suryansh Hetge also has shown that at 16, he too can keep things going. This has been an invaluable partnership. 37 of 24 between these two for the 5th wicket. Just when we thought that they were out of it, they've come streaming back in. Game on here at the Wankhede Stadium.
It's amazing, this experience for young Suryansh. Atif is a very wily. Oh, what a shot again. It's amazing, isn't it, Gautam? The exposure that these young boys get in playing under the lights, television cameras seen all over the world. What better can they get? And this young lad, Suryansh, seems to have that. A 16-year-old coming and playing this level of cricket amazes me, really.
You can't have anyone better than Milind Regeg, not just calling the game from the commentary box, but keeping an eye on all these youngsters. So they've got everything to play for. Of course, the light's still not on at the moment. They're playing under this wonderful setting sun here on the coast, the west coast of India. Just about 100 yards, or 40 yards, 50 yards inside from the iconic Marine Drive. Wankhede Stadium, beautifully located in South Mumbai.
Shams will have to carry the side till the very end, because he's the kind of player who can hit long. He also plays along the ground. Shams, that wicket of Shams is so important for the fielding team. Meanwhile, this young lad, oh, beautiful shot, straight down the ground.
The equation still pretty much doesn't show that it's out of reach, but what Suryansh will have to do is convert the shots that look good into shots that are effective. That's what the equation is in front of the Aakash Tigers.
They need a 6 of this ball, Gautam, for sure.
Well, the amount of effort he put into that should have got him 6 runs and not a single.
Because as the wicket is going to starting to play so slow, there's no bounce in the wicket at all. And with change of pace, the kind of left-arm spinners or fast bowlers rolling their fingers over the ball, 6 hitting is not going to be easy. But Shams has that ability to do it.
Atharwala goes up in appeal. Is not going to oblige there. Just have a look there. Yogesh Pawar is next in, and we know he can hit the ball as well. Captain Dhaval Kulkarni after that. Not exactly a mug with the bat. So it's not all lost for them. Got the youngster in here, Shams Mulani. He's got the key. 35 of 22. He's set. He can hit the big sixes. Charu Sharma and Manish Patavia were talking about that. Can there be someone who can hit those sixes to change the game? He's answered it in the positive.
I've also felt that there should be 2 big hitters in the last 4 overs. Oh, that's a very well bowled ball. Delivery slow, rolling his fingers over the ball.
129 for 4 with 3 to go. (41 of 18 deliveries). It's North Mumbai Panthers. Remember, they won the toss and decided to bat first. Vikrant Aute, the stand-in captain, not only captaining his side well, but came out to open the batting, got 52 of 37.
Yep.
Dagaonkar playing his first game, standing in for Prithvi Shaw with outstanding as well. 46 of 26, and it was only that spell from Arjun Tendulkar, 3 for 27, that kept the North Mumbai Panthers to 169 instead of 196. Aakash Tigers at the moment, 41 of 18 needed. This is when the big sixes need to come out.
If Yogesh is a good hitter of the ball, I believe he should have come before, because there's no point in pushing the ball for ones and twos. You've got to have somebody hitting straight. Fours are not going to matter, but this one should. No, there's a fielder. It's getting tougher and tougher. 40 of 17 balls. At this stage of the innings, Gautam, there has been no boundary in the last 8 balls, which is extremely vital to go for that win.
You can have a look at the batsman, Shams Mulani, just calling the youngster over. They need to have a game plan right now, because Suryansh is struggling to get the ball off the square. This could also be a message, perhaps, from the dugout. Yes, see, he didn't take the gloves. It was clearly a message from the dugout. It probably means Yogesh Pawar is more capable. We need to do something. Everything must go.
The ones and twos are of no use whatsoever. Shams has to look to improvise a few shots. Mangela is an experienced bowler, having represented Mumbai many years ago. Tall, seaming, medium pace bowler who hits the deck hard.
Oh, that's been struck very sweetly, and it's into the stands. Exactly what the doctor ordered, exactly what the dugout ordered. They sent out a pair of gloves. He didn't want the gloves. Whatever the message was a magic message.
And the bowler obliged by giving that ball in his area to hit that 6. That 6 will change a few things. One more 6 in this over. Mind you, there are just 2 balls bowled at the moment, so he must look for a big one in the next one also.
Yep, Shams Mulani has already been dubbed Slams Mulani by Manish. This time, it's up and gone. I think that may... Oh, it's a no ball. It's a no ball. It's not over till it's over. And he signals a free hit now. Let's have a quick look at that. Did the bowler overstep at such a crucial moment?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a massive no ball. How could he have done this at this stage? Oh, this is Mangela's really hurt.
Mandeep Mangela. This could have really turned things in favour of the fielding side again. It's still maybe 60-40 in their favour, but would Shams Mulani, the big 6-hitter gone, that could have been very different. Now, can Suryansh take advantage of the free hit? So far he's shown that he's got a good head, he's got some good stroke play, but not the muscle power for the maximum, and he shows it again there, with all due respect to the youngster.
31 of 15, not a difficult target, gettable, provided Mulani stays till the end. Apart from Yogesh, there are no big strikers of the ball left in the Tigers batting lineup.
That's again one bounce to the fielder. You could see he hadn't quite hit that. And a bit of comedy again in the running. Really, it's Shams Mulani who needed to be herring back to keep the strike.
You see going way outside the off stump and playing it on the onside. Yes, no. Shams probably should have looked at it more closely as the throw was going to the other end.
I reckon he should have just called 2 from the outset. Even if Suryansh had got run out at the non-strikers, and so be it. That was the need of the hour. He's just not getting it off the square. This is becoming tougher and tougher now with just 2 overs and 1 ball left. This is where we see we've got some big hitters, the likes of Sujit Nayak, the likes of Shivam Dubey, who we saw just yesterday showing his wares. Saw it last season, got himself an IPL contract. Wonderful platform, T20 Mumbai. That's been hit straight. Is that another no ball as well? He needs to come back for 2 so he can take strike for the free hit. Has he made it home? The keeper thinks he's gone. The umpire's gone upstairs. Oh God, it's all the drama. It's drama. If Shams Mulani has made it home, we reckon it's going to be advantage the batting side, because this is a no ball. It's going to be a free hit.
That's close. That's very close. He's gone. No, is he gone? The line belongs to the umpire. 1 frame behind. Go back 1 frame. That's the sprayer frame.
It's that old cliche. No one wants to be in that box. Come on, Milind, are you calling this one? I'm calling it in favor of the batsman.
I'm not. I am not.
Okay, it's 1-1 in the commentary box. It's all up to the 3rd umpire. As you said, it's 1 frame. I reckon the frame that is behind the line, the bails were not dislodged. The next one they were, but at that point the bat was over the line. This is critical, because if he's safe, it means that Shams Mulani will be facing the free hit next delivery. And of course gets the extra run. Wow.
So benefit of doubt goes to the batsman.
Are you taking your call back? It's still 1-1.
Thank God I'm not the umpire. Thank God I've never umpired a game.
Is it that much tougher than being a chief selector?
I think the benefit of doubt must go to Shams, because they're viewing this so many times, isn't it?
I think it's also the situation of the game. It's just all down to 1 frame. If you had a look at the reaction of the keeper, you'd think that's out 100 times out of 100. But then keepers are a different breed of people. There you go. There you go. These boys are alive and well. He's wondering, was that a premature celebration on my part? Shams Mulani breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, I think it was the tension that has half the sweat, the rest of it from the humidity.
I think it's purely benefit of doubt. 2 runs of this ball, and Shams Mulani gets to bat off a free hit.
And for the 2nd time, he's overstepped. Mandeep Mangela has overstepped. .144 for 4. Remember, this is a free hit now. They've had a chat. And it's the man who should be on strike, Shams Mulani, 45 of 27. He's already shown he can go big. The siren goes out for the free hit.
18th over and 2 no balls. Oh, that's bonus.
He'll have an FIR out for that. Doesn't matter if someone takes it or not. The question is, has he gone far enough? Fielder puts it down. Oh my goodness gracious me. He was not going to be out, but the question was from the fielder. Dekle, all he had to do was stop the ball, because he knew he couldn't be out. He was going to take the catch, drops it and lets it roll over for 4. That was not smart cricket from Sumit Dekle.
19 runs of that over. That's expensive.
148 for 4 at the end of 18. Talk about drama. Talk about having cricketing sense. You knew it was a free hit, and the fielder just had to prioritize making sure the ball didn't go over the boundary. The catch wasn't important. For some reason, he went to take that catch. Ball slipped out, rolled over, and there were bonus runs for Shams Mulani and for the Tigers. 148 for 4. They just need 22. And I say just because at the end of the previous over, it looked a lot further away.
Shams is 49 of 28. Fabulous strike rate of 175.
Big over from the experienced Asif Attarwala. 3 overs for 27. And Suryansh's instructions were, get Shams Mulani on strike. If you can't get Yogesh Pawar on strike by getting out, then get the non-striker on strike.
Terrific innings from Shams Mulani. Need 21 of 11 balls. Doable, Gautam. With all the wickets in hand. What you need is a 6. What you need is to start the over with a big hit. Suddenly the pressure comes down on you, and the pressure on the bowling side is massive.
That's going to fall short of the fielder. The question is, Shams Mulani, well done, gets to a 50, but could he have been a little more selfish for the sake of his team and stayed on strike maybe because he's the only one of the two who can hit those big shots? But maybe it's not quite got to the stage when you need a boundary every single ball.
Maybe he should have looked for that square cut instead of hitting it straight, because the ball was so short and outside the off stump. But I think Mulani was predetermined in trying to play that shot. But well played, Shams Mulani. Truly a very good all-rounder in the making.
Yet again, the 16-year-old can't really get it off the square, but this time he's coming back for a second run, throws at the wrong end for the fielding side. Suryansh picks up a couple of runs, though I'm sure the fielding side won't be unhappy with that, because they know that the youngster, while he's played sensibly, made a good impression, hit one really good boundary, but he has not shown either the ability or the strength to be able to clear the boundary with 18 of 9 needed.
Next 3 balls, they have to get at least 8 runs to stay in the hunt. What an experience for this young lad, Suryansh, to play in such a situation.
This time it's it up in the air, it's straight, one bounce, but it's cut off. Good direction, picks up a couple of runs. Valuable runs nonetheless, even though he's not getting boundaries, but still you'd have to say that of these last 2 deliveries, if one of them don't go for a boundary, fielding side will be breathing easier than Northeast Mumbai Panthers.
Surely need a boundary now. Take a deep breath. That'll do you good. Try and play a good cricketing shot. Don't hit across the line. I've been shouting horse over this over all the days. Play straight. Wide ball. One more run, one more ball.
Asif Attarwala. Long conversation happening between the umpire, the non-striker. Now, I think he wants a drink of water. The umpire says, yeah, I know you're 16, but you're with the big boys now, but I'll allow you that. Just because it's you, I'll allow it for you. He says, thank you, uncle.
I'm wondering about the sanctity of this okay, because truly, if I'm tired, so what? You got to play. You got to take a deep breath and play. 68 of 43 balls. Maybe you said he's too young, that's why he's allowed it.
He looks young as well. This is Shams Mulani. 50 of just 29. And the sixes were really impressive. Those 2 in 1 over, the second one in particular. was struck so sweetly. And the timing of that, just when we were saying, do they have a Shivam Dube? Do they have a big hitter in their ranks, which almost every team has? And Shams Mulani's put his hand up. In that arc, those 40 runs in the arc between long on and square leg.
What's going to be now? Oh, well hit. Take two. Go for two. Go for two. What a shot.
I can tell you, whatever you get him to drink, get him another few bottles of that. He just had one glass of that, and suddenly he's turned into Superman. He honestly got stretched from something.
And that too a slower delivery. He saw it all the way. And cross-patch shot there, but terrific power. The best shot to hit is a straight one. Still another ball to go. If they get a 4 of this ball, I think they've made it.
The first time in his innings, Suryan Shedge, his strike rate goes over 100. And this has pretty much been straight. 17 runs in the V. Good delivery from Attarwala. They'll look for two, they'll look for two. Throws at the keeper's end, but he's quick now, the youngster. Comes back for two. And I think that's the kind of equation that they would be reasonably happy with, despite not getting the big boundaries. 9 left of just 6 deliveries. And what a final over we have. What a finish we have on this first match on this Monday doubleheader at T20 Mumbai. Sujit Naik, the big man for the Namo Bandra Blasters, leads the Skoda maximum sixes for the season. Surya Kumar Yadav, Sairaj Patil, Shivam Dube, the reputed hitters. Shubham Ranjani as well, we saw him last year. But how key could the 3 sixes that Shams Mulani has hit today, even though he's not on that list, be?
In the last game, Atish Attarwala had bowled beautifully, but today has gone for lots of runs, 40 or 4. From now on, if the Tigers mess it up, Gautam, is their fault, because they cannot lose from now on.
I think what they've done well is, I don't know if you're an Asterix fan, but they used to have this druid get-a-fix who would make them a magic potion. So somebody in that dugout has made a magic potion for 16-year-old Suryan Shedge. He's had another 2 glasses of that. By that logic, the game should be done and dusted.
This is interesting. 9 runs needed of 6 balls. And Mulani batting for 50 of 29. And the bowler is Praveen Tambe, the leg spinner. He will come in his swing on the onside. But I'm sure Praveen is going to bowl more googlies than the leggers. Every single ball may be a googly from Praveen as far as the left-hander is concerned. This is a very brave move.
That was an actual pair of dry gloves coming out. The umpire says, that's it, no more gloves for you. No more magic potion for you. Now, when Suryan Shedge actually comes on strike, I want to know what the age difference is between Tambe and Shedge. Yeah, just been reminded, 31 years. Oh, that's big. That is huge. That is massive. That is out of here. That is 6. That is Shams Mulani at his very best. The Tigers are roaring at T20 Mumbai.
That's exactly what I was saying. It's a dangerous decision to bring a leg spinner to a left-hand batsman, because if he gets in his groove, he's going to swing it. And that's exactly what Shams Mulani has done. Used his massive power. Absolutely terrific batting display from Shams Mulani. Once again, he goes for that shot on the onside. And it's over. It's all over.
We were saying 9 of 6 is a fair equation. Well, Shams Mulani says, I like maths, very simple. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 10 is more than 9. We win the game with 4 balls to spare. And that man, that youngster, the 16-year-old, has done so well. We might have criticized him at times, but he's finished with 27 of 24, and he's been part of a partnership that was 84 of 47 balls. So I think you'll have to take your hats off to the 16-year-old. It was the 40-plus Praveen Tambe who failed in the end. And there he comes, Vinod Kambli. Always energetic, always animated. Really like to be a fly on the wall of the conversation between Vinod Kambli and Shams Mulani. What a win for the Tigers. $171 for 4, but I can tell you, it's not just numbers. The tension that there was there when Arjun Tendulkar was out, when Gomel was dismissed, and when Subramaniam was out LBW to Savant, it looked as if it was all over for the chasing side. Outwalked young 16-year-old Suryansh Shetge to join Shams Mulani, but the equation had gone to 12s and 13s. But that magnificent partnership, unbeaten, 84 of 47, took them home with 4 deliveries to spare. The veteran Praveen Tambe bowled the final over, got hit for 6, and then this was the winning moment. An absolute sizzling boundary to mid-wicket, and it was all over. Yep, Arjun Tendulkar was right there. Bowled beautifully for his 3 wickets, got the innings off to the start it needed. And a critical win for the Aakash Tigers, representing the Mumbai western suburbs. The North Mumbai Panthers coming out second best. That means the table will now look very, very interesting indeed, because for the Tigers, it was a very critical game indeed. They win this by 6 wickets against the North Mumbai Panthers.
And so to our evening match on day 7. We've had a thriller already. Could we have another? Let's not get too greedy, though. Welcome to the Wankhede. Down the center, we have to my left, Siddesh Lad, skipper of Shivaji Park Lions, and to his left, Surya Kumar Yadav, skipper of Triumph Knights, and then, of course, one of the biggest icons of Indian cricket. What could he have done in T20? We'll never know, but I know he'll have been a huge star. Sandy Patil. To his left, we've got our match referee, Aarti. Thank you so much for joining us. Vaidya, and of course, a special guest, Rashmi Desai from Triumph Knights. Okay, Sandy is going to toss. Siddesh is going to call.
Heads.
Heads is the call. And Aarti will tell us. Sandy, if you don't mind, ladies first. And heads it is. Did you say heads? Yeah. Okay, go for it. What you going to do?
We would like to bat first.
Okay, you've seen what the pitch can do. 170 was chased. What's your probable target?
No, I think 170 is a good target on this wicket, and if we, put 170 on the board, we can put them under pressure.
2 games played, 2 games, unfortunately not won, should we say. Does that necessitate more team changes?
No, I think we are playing well as a team. We lost 2 close games. We didn't take a box. We didn't play well in the power play last 2 games, whether it be batting or bowling. We gave away runs. We didn't score runs yesterday. So I think if we, do well in power play, half of the job is done.
All right, you got out to a fabulous delivery. I'm sure no regrets there. But any changes in the batting department?
Just one change. Nikhil Patil comes in place of Swapnil Pradhan, and we have added a left-arm spinner because they are playing with all right-hand batsmen, and we have rested Tanush Kotian.
Well, I don't want to remind you, in a must-win situation, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Siddesh, all right, Surya, if he was in a must-win situation, I'm afraid so are you. Happy to bowl first?
Obviously, looking at the wicket, I feel it's a great wicket and won't change much. And looking at the last game, they chased down it easily. I think I was also looking to bowl first, since it's a night game, and we have played a lot of night games here in the IPL. So I know wicket will not change much, and I would love to chase here on this wicket.
Well, he said about 170, beg your pardon. It sounds chaseable.
Exactly. Anything I mean at Wankhede is chaseable. It's how you start and how smart you bat out here when you come out to chase. 170 is a good total, but I won't go with the numbers. I'll back my boys whatever target we get.
Or the crowd here at the Wankhede is looking forward to you bossing the bowling again.
Exactly. They have been fantastic throughout for us and for all the teams as well. They're coming out in numbers and cheering for our boys. I think it'll be a great game.
Well, you certainly hope so. Good luck.
Cheers.
All right, here we go then. Confirmation that Siddesh Lad won the toss and Shivaji Park Lions are going to be batting first. We'll take a short break and come back with the action. Well, I think I may have said this before, but I'll say it again. Another fantastic finish. And don't we have some wonderful matches here at T20 Mumbai. Big thank you to the crowd here at Wankhede. It's a Monday, but there are plenty of people turned up. Of course, we had a fabulous weekend yesterday and day before. Also, a big thank you to those watching on television and to our primary sponsors on behalf of MCA. I'd like to thank Dream 11, Skoda, Atul Projects, Wardwiz, Seagate and Bisleri. And now an introduction to our presentation party, beginning with, to my left first, from the MCA, Mr. Naveen Shetty. To his left, from North Mumbai Panthers, Sandeep Jaiswal. To his left, from Aakash Tigers, Shravan Jajodia. Let's begin with having a quick chat with the captain that won the game today. My invitation to Dhaval Kulkarni to come and join me. Dhaval, you have your pads on. They need them today.
Did need because of Shams and the way Suryansh, both of them played. Was a composed innings, and finally we got over the line. Was a good finish, but these guys showed real good character, and that's what we look for.
Without question, but it's back to your bowling, because at one stage you were looking at perhaps chasing 200, but you pulled it back fabulously with your bowlers.
Well, T20 is all about that, how you use your plans, how you use your bowlers. And the way we pulled them back, phenomenal job by all the bowlers. It was a team effort.
It certainly was, but may I mention a certain Mr. T came back with 3 wickets.
Arjun, he's been bowling well in patches, but the way he bowled today, the way he showed his character, the way he showed his temperament was good for our team.
Listen, you won today. Fantastic batting effort, fantastic chase. How do we get a smile out of you?
I'm smiling now, back to the winning ways. Just want to keep up the momentum now and not look back.
All right, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dhaval Kulkarni, the skipper of Aakash Tigers. Time now to announce the man of the match. Who else could it be but the one who chased magnificently today. Also bowled well, 1 for 33 and 60 runs, unbeaten from 31. Shams Mulani is our man of the match. He will collect his trophy from Mr. Shravan Jajodia and his check for 50,000 rupees from Mr. Naveen Shetty. Mr. Mulani, if you'd like to join me, please, for a quick chat. Right here, the first over you bowled today was pretty expensive, but you came back well with the ball first.
Yeah. I thought the wicket was a bit slow, but it was coming onto the bat very nicely. And I think our field placements were a bit off because the batsmen had a strong points and we gave it to them. And that's what I did. I rectified it in my last 3 overs.
Of course, it was a fantastic batting effort, and you had young Shetge with you. What was the game plan with him there? And obviously, a certain lack of experience, we may say so, with the 16-year-old.
I just told him to believe himself, and I knew he could hit the long ball. And I just told him, back yourself and just wait for the slower ones, because they were bowling a lot of slow ones.
Did you also tell him, believe in me, Shams?
No, not at all. I just said, believe in yourself.
All right, I've got to ask you. I think you ran yourself out nearly about 10 times today. What's going on?
That was a cheeky double over there, and the first single was a bit dicey. So I think we'll improve our calling skills next time.
All right, listen, let's not take anything away. You need to go and celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Shams Mulani, our man of the match. And that's the end of the presentation arena. Just a quick thank you to our presentation party. And of course, we have much, much more. Another fabulous match coming up here in T20 Mumbai.